goes nuts, it deflates your bench. So the Edmonton Oilers, if you're not a goal scorer, be noticed physically.
Vancouver out-hit Edmonton 2-1 in game number 5.
When they were the team with the puck the whole night.
Right.
That is not a good sign for the Oilers. They have to be much more physical in this hockey game. Quinn Hughes...
the Oilers have been way too easy on the Canucks star players.
We did something last night on our show. He's only been hit like 12 times in the series or something along that line. Doughty was getting hit 12 times a game. Yeah. They got to be more physical.
No, he's harder to hit.
Yeah, well, for sure he is. But the Nashville Predators did a very good job hitting him. They absolutely crushed him every chance they had. The Oilers have got to be physical without taking penalties. And the Canucks defense are big and strong and mean and nasty. Make them turn. Do not try to beat them at the blue line. Pucks in behind them. Get them turning their feet. Guys that are 6'7", 6'8", they don't turn quickly. So I think that's what the Oilers have to do offensively. Get pucks in and force the Vancouver defensemen to turn and get it.
All right, there you go. Those are some of the keys to the game, brought to you by Ford, the official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford, proud. Troy Muller. Let's bring up the sound in the building. Stuart Skinner. The doors have opened. He is about to come on the ice. The fans are jacked. No question about it. We are going to let the in-house take over for the next 20 seconds.
Ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV. Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
The Edmonton Oilers with their season on the line. Game 6 against the Vancouver Canucks, who lead this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal 3-2. Winner of the series moves on to take Dallas in the Western Conference final. Let's get a look at your Coventry home starting lineup, brought to you by the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. Stuart Skinner draws the call in net. He'll start for the first time since Game 3. In front of him, Darnell Nurse and Vinny Desharnais on defense. And at center, Ryan McLeod, flanked by Warren Fogle and Derek Ryan. Now let's go into the sellout crowd with Robert Clark for the anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
It's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Here he shoots and scores.
Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
May 14th, 2023, the Vegas Golden Knights came into Edmonton and defeated the Oilers 5-2 in Game 6, ending their season in the second round and winning that series 4-2. Now, a year and 4 days later, Vancouver will try to do the same. Like Vegas, the Pacific Division champions, and the Canucks with a 3-2 series lead on the strength of their 3-2 win on Thursday night. JT Miller, the game winner with 33 seconds to go, the second latest in the history of the Canucks franchise. Vancouver in the white, trimmed with blue and green. Edmonton, season at stake, blue and orange, white trim. Ryan McLeod, JT Miller, we're underway with a puck drop in Game 6. The Oilers operating left to right in this first period. Vinny Desharnais up the right-hand side. It's swept in by Derek Ryan. Out to handle it is Sheelos. He got trapped there by Warren Fogle. It's still loose and thrown out through everybody. And the Oilers will have to peel back into their own zone. Skinner against the Canucks. Lifetime 2-6 with a save percentage of 8.38. He's trying to shake that, and what has been a tough series to this point for him, where he stopped just 46 of 58. Tossed in by Brock Besser, and Nurse circling behind his own net, weaving his way through the neutral zone, left wing, faked the shot on Rodick, takes it, save made by Sheelov's juicy rebound, picked up by Zach Hyman. As Edmonton's top line out, Hyman, McDavid, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid watches Nugent-Hopkins make a steal and a quick shot. Went off a skate. McDavid just 1 assist over the last 3 games of this series. 2 of them Vancouver victories. Ekholm fires wide and the rebound careened off Bouchard's stick out to center. Bouchard will send it in deep. Nugent-Hopkins back on the puck for the Oilers. Left corner at Zach Hyman. He's been quiet the last 3 games as well. Tried to send it over to McDavid, could not. Defended well by Elias Lindholm, who's playing with Pettersson. And, of course, Niels Hoglander up the left-hand side. It was Pettersson and Lindholm with the assists on Miller's late goal. Bouchard up through center, left wing, blast, Draisaitl, and that went wide of Sheelov's and clattered off the corner boards all the way down the ice. It's the first time in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs you had 2 game winners in back-to-back games in the final minute, and now we've got an interference call away from the play. Our referees Garrett Rank and Jean Hebert, linesmen Shandor Alfonso and Johnny Murray, and this time instead of Vancouver taking an early penalty like we've seen on a couple of occasions in this series, Bob, it's Leon Draisaitl whistled for an interference at 1:46, and Vancouver's power play, which has struggled mightily except for Game 3 of this series, will get a chance.
Helped them win Game 3 of this series, getting a couple goals. Left side draw. Derek Ryan will take it against Lindholm. Pair of righties in the circle.
Oilers 89% on the kill, second only to the Rangers among the Stanley Cup playoff teams. Off the face-off, Vancouver won it, and it was misplayed down low, and Desharnais clear to center. Desharnais and Ekholm out there with Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Good play by Ryan on the half wall. He's had a strong series. Finds Ekholm, and it's blasted length of the ice. Lineup changes for Edmonton. Skinner in for Pickard between the pipes, and then Corey Perry's going to be a healthy scratch tonight. Sam Carrick draws in his 4th line center with Ryan moving up to 3rd line right wing. Sent in deep. Skinner will play it up the left-hand side. Fogle had it and lost it. The Canucks send it squirting to the middle of the ice, where it's picked off and cleared routinely by Ceci. And Vancouver has to retreat. The Canucks just 3 for 16 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Quinn Hughes hasn't scored a goal in his last 15 games, dating back to the regular season. Besser's long shot drifts wide on Skinner. Rebound Hughes back behind the net, Garland. And now Besser from the corner. Hughes will receive a pass from Pettersson and slide down the left-hand side. Crosses to Besser. He'll step up right circle. circle, down low. Miller unable to redirect on net. And Skinner comes up with it. And now Miller getting wrestled first by Ekholm and then from behind by Matthias Janmark. And I think they're going to send both off. And that's not a bad trade, Bob, with Miller going off as well as Janmark, who scored one of Edmonton's goals in game 5.
Well, Janmark has played with the requisite passion and desperation you need to succeed in playoff time. Some other Oilers forwards that can follow suit. He and Derek Ryan were very good, along with Connor Brown, in game number 5. That's the problem. They were the best Edmonton line. That's the Oilers' 4th line.
Here's Jean Hebert.
13, 2 minutes each for roughing.
Yeah, just coincidental roughing minor calls. And again, Janmark Miller, Edmonton will take that trade. Miller started in on Ekholm, and then Janmark came in behind, and Miller threw a punch. And they're both sent off.
Oilers have to make it more difficult for the likes of Miller and Hughes. And I might assert to you they've waited too long. And clearly Vancouver...
Well, the Canucks about hit the Oilers by an average of 44 to 27 the last 4.
They've definitely gotten in the grill at times of McDavid and Draisaitl, and I don't think the Oilers have done that enough against some of Vancouver's better players.
Suter against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who won the draw cleanly, but will do it again. We've seen a lot of resets in this series. Now, Janmark might have to go off for repairs. He might be bleeding. And so Janmark will have to be... He's not going to be replaced in the box. Oh, yeah. Well, no, he's not going to be replaced in the box. He's going off underneath.
As you know, coincidental after there's already a minor. Keeps it 5-on-4.
Well, no, I'm just saying he's not being replaced in the box. Janmark is going underneath for repairs. So Draisaitl's the only Oiler in the box. Here's a shot by Hughes sent wide. Canuck power play for another 40 seconds. Hughes shot from distance, doesn't make it to the net, and pitchforked out of there by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And the Oiler penalty kill has been terrific. Special teams has not been the issue for Edmonton in this Stanley Cup playoffs. At times, 5-on-5 play has been, even with shot attempts and all that other stuff, reportedly or reputedly in favor of Edmonton. The goals for and against haven't necessarily translated. Rifled down the right-hand side by Desharnais after a poor dump in. And once again, as was the case in Game 5, Vancouver's power play does nothing. Quinn Hughes back in his own zone. He'll collect the puck for the Canucks. Draisaitl is out. Miller has to remain in. Janmark's off underneath. And here's Nikita Zadorov up the right-hand side. Gaining the line with a shot, and that was sent wide by Podkolzin. And after it, Tyler Myers scrambles back into his own zone, knocked off balance by Draisaitl, shoveled down low by Hyman. McDavid joins them 5-on-5 following the successful kill. Phil DiGiuseppe ahead, and it's shot in by Bluger. Quick shot short side, and a save made by Skinner against Tyler Myers, who had snuck down low. DiGiuseppe scored a goal in Game 5 after missing 2 to be there for the birth of his son. And the Canucks are now a perfect 6-0 when he does score. Face-off coming for Vancouver in the offensive zone with 4 minutes and 20 seconds having elapsed in this scoreless Game 6.
Well, both Rick Tocchet and Chris Knobloch were looking for more further down the lineup, and they got it. Oilers got a line for goal from their 4th line. Connor Brown finished it up, or yet setting up Janmark for one. And DiGiuseppe on a brilliant bit of work by Nils Zaman on a strip of the Oilers' Evan Bouchard.
I still don't know how he didn't get an assist on that play, but whatever. Face off to Skinner's left-hand side. Bluger will line up for the draw against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Joshua perched in the slot. Bluger wins the face-off. Here's a shot redirected and a dangerous save made by Skinner. That was a good stop on Joshua's redirection. And Joshua does have 4 goals in the postseason after putting up a career-high 16 in the regular season. Garland won a battle and nudged one on net. Skinner flicked it aside. And now the Canucks' heavy forechecking pressure results in Zadorov stepping up and shooting. And that went into the grill of his own man, Joshua. The puck flattened out and was cleared ahead for Evander Kane. Left wing centering pass behind Evan Bouchard. And Kane just didn't have enough to get a step there, Bob. I thought he was home free for a moment. Canucks get it in deep. Kulak, the outlet, and shoveled in one more time by Kane. Quinn Hughes will brush it off the right-hand boards. Darnell Nurse knocked it down, threw it toward the net, and that's grabbed and cleared swiftly by Lindholm. He'll get it back from Hoglander in over the line. Hoglander, 24 goals, all at even strength during the regular season. But boy, he's had a tough playoffs. Pickard made a fine save on him in Game 5 that went off the post. Here, he's neutralized by Desharnais. Draisaitl throws it ahead for Nurse to skate into it, but Quinn Hughes got back there, and then Nurse slashed the stick out of his hands, and no penalty was called. So Hughes has no lumber. Here's a one-timer by Bouchard, and he half-heeled it wide. Now Nurse finds Draisaitl loading up, gives it back. Bouchard half-flubbed another one-timer, and Pettersson is able to manage a clear to center. The Canucks will get new sticks as Roenick twists it back to center ice. I thought Nurse got away with a slash there.
100% he did.
Walking in left-hand side is Matthias Ekholm. He'll jam it down low. It's going to be picked up by Soucy. Boy, he telegraphed a pass down the middle. The Oilers almost had a steal there. McLeod had it deflect off his stick all the way out to Bouchard. Dumped in by Derek Ryan. McLeod charges in right-hand side, still without a point in the Stanley Cup playoffs. A centering pass deflected and a soft chip ahead for Di Giuseppe. Back to center for Vancouver. Big hit. Going for the hit, Soucy, and then coming over to make a play was Suter to get it back to Di Giuseppe, and it's backhanded deep into the Oilers zone, retrieved by Warren Fogle. Been a while since he's been on the score sheet for the Edmonton Oilers. After a 20-goal regular season, he'll drop it for Evan Bouchard.
Carrick's first shift here, Jack.
13 and a quarter to play in the first period. Sam Carrick is on the ice, and he's playing for the first time since Game 3 against Los Angeles. A dump in, Shelov's worked it up the left-hand side, caromed off Connor Brown, back to center, rifled back in by Kulak. Of course, Carrick and Enrique picked up at the deadline in exchange for a first-round pick. It's cleared out towards center and fired back in. You've got Kane out there with Carrick and Brown, and now Carrick will change as Vancouver clears up the left-hand side.
That's because Janmark and Miller are still technically in the box.
Right. Janmark is not available. Here's a lead pass right-hand side. Hyman walks in, shoots, and a kick save made by goaltender Shelovs. Miller has to come in at the next whistle. Soucy to Myers, rifled up to center. Neil Zoman puts it ahead for Di Giuseppe. So Vancouver's without Miller for upwards of 4 minutes, as it turns out. But Cole's at a centering pass, and that was deflected away. Nugent-Hopkins ahead. That was tipped, and Hyman will skate into it against Carson Soucy. He was completely erased in the corner, and the Canucks clear back through center. Eventually played rink-wide to Bouchard by Desharnais, then he'll get it back with a dozen minutes left in this scoreless first period. Each team with 2 shots on net. Vancouver has failed to score in the game's only power play. Draisaitl up to Holloway right-hand side. He's in. Wrist shot, score! Dylan Holloway from Draisaitl. Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead in Game 6.
Well, a brilliant individual effort from Dylan Holloway. That is his best goal as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl hits him in full flight. Holloway wanted the puck. He called for it. He beat Elias Pettersson just at center ice and then walked the D. What a sequence from Dylan Holloway around Roenick, and it sifts through Shelovs.
Holloway scored twice here in Game 2 against Los Angeles, and then had not been on the score sheet since. But he tucks it 5-hole after opening up Shelovs, and it's 1-0 for Edmonton. Keep in mind, the Oilers have led in all 3 of their losses in this series. The first goal has not amounted to much in this series. 4 of the 5 games, the team that got the first goal did not win the hockey game. Lead pass, JT Miller, finally out of the box up the right-hand side. And Bob, that's a factor as well. Yes. Miller was trapped, and who knows whether he might have been out on the ice for that shift. Holloway ahead to Draisaitl, change of pace, puts the brakes on. Now Bouchard a shot, and disrupting from behind was Teddy Bluger. Evander Kane on the rebound will try to keep it alive for Derek Ryan. He's angled off the puck by Zadorov, and here comes Vancouver's Bluger. Through the neutral zone, in over the line. Little spin move and a backhander flicked wide. Draisaitl and Bouchard with the helpers on Dylan Holloway's third goal of the postseason. And he got hot down the stretch after his recall from Bakersfield. It all started with a hat trick in his final game in the American Hockey League. And he's built on that momentum and all of a sudden finds himself in the top 6 of a game that Edmonton has to win to keep its season alive. I mean, that's kind of amazing when you think of where Holloway was 2 months ago. Sent in and out immediately after a Vancouver dump in. The Oilers were able to work it back into the Vancouver zone. Fogle got it in deep. Roenick up the right-hand side. Pettersson now on the puck and skating to his left is Niels Hoglander in over the Edmonton line. Tracked by Desharnais. Pettersson, who assisted on the game winner, tried to set up, rebound, score. Hoglander, his first of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tucked home his own rebound, and Vancouver has tied the game at 1.
Well, the Oilers had 2 opportunities to make a play. I thought Ryan McLeod was going to go off the ice. That's the first even strength goal Ryan McLeod's been on the ice for in this series. The only top 9 forward, but Pettersson walks McLeod, centers in time. The Oilers, both Desharnais and Nurse, right in front of the net. That play can't happen if you're an Oilers partisan. It did. We're tied 1-1.
Hoglander had not scored a goal since mid-April.
And Bouchard missed a glorious opportunity. He's had 3 great looks in this game.
Well, I think Bluger got in there to help deny him. Pettersson, the primary on Hoglander's first of the playoffs. And for a guy who scored 24 during the regular season, that's a massive goal confidence-wise. Big hit by Myers on the right-hand side against Hoglander.
Number 17.
Philip Roenick will get his first point of the playoffs as well. Here's a centering pass by McDavid that Sheeloffs is able to gobble up. So 2 guys who needed to get on the score sheet for Vancouver. Hoglander had 24 goals during the regular season, and Roenick, who had 36 points in his first 42 games, but just 12 in his next 50. They hook up for the equalizer, and Vancouver, as Edmonton has done often in this series, with a quick response. And as a result, Game 6 is tied at 1. The Oilers' season on the line. 9:37 to play first period. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Dylan Holloway was recalled barely a month ago, had 3 goals and 5 points in his last 6 regular season games, opens the scoring tonight. And then Niels Hoglander comes back for Vancouver less than 2 minutes later. And we're tied in Game 6 at 1 apiece. Off the draw, McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman see Vancouver muscle it outside the zone. Bouchard rifles a pass to Hyman, bounced off his stick. Myers to Brock Besser, an errant toss left wing that'll turn into an icing call against Vancouver. 9:22 to go in the first period. We are tied at 1 midway through this first period of Game 6.
Vancouver has scored 3 goals off of ozone face-off wins, including the game tire, Jack, and a 6-on-5. in game number 4. The Oilers have not scored off a face-off win in this series, and part of the reason is Vancouver's winning way more face-offs, about 56.5% in the series.
Draw won by Miller in the D zone for Vancouver. Soucy up the right-hand side. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. High atop sold-out Rogers Place, 18,347. Here's Myers, high slot, blast wide, rebound, and that was drilled wide of a vacant net by Suter. Here's Besser, turns and fires, and that one off a skate. Bob, I don't think he realized how much time he had. And here's McDavid trying to get by Miller. Does so, right wing, hits the trailer, Bouchard, and that shot was redirected. And then Soucy was high stick by McDavid. I'm not sure the referee saw it live, but he saw the after effects, and McDavid will be sent off. They missed a high stick on McDavid earlier this series that actually cut Quinn Hughes. Now we'll have to check Carson Soucy to see whether or not he's cut. Time of the penalty, 11:16. This will be Vancouver's second power play.
Edmonton penalty, number 97, 2 minutes, high sticking.
Just a 2. Garrett Rank with a call. Vancouver trying to become the 4th division champion to reach the conference finals. That's never happened in the history of the National Hockey League prior to 1974 when they made the 4 divisions. You've never had the 4 top seeds, or as it were, all advanced to the conference final. That's why they say the Stanley Cup is the hardest to win, because you go through that grinder of a regular season, and even if you finish first, there's no guarantee you get out of the first 2 rounds, let alone win the Stanley Cup.
Jackie's got a second unit on the ice to start this power play.
Derek Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ekholm and Desharnais are the Napa Auto Parts penalty killing unit. Here's Garland. Cross ice, tipped away by Ekholm. After it, Philip Roenick did well to hold the zone for Joshua. Plows his way in right corner. You got a 4-player scrum. Puck getting raked free out into the slot and through everyone. Nugent-Hopkins and Derek Ryan will change. And Connor Garland drifts back to pick it up for Vancouver.
And now they're getting their first unit guys on the ice.
8 1/4 to go, first period. Shots are 3 apiece. The game is tied at 1. Holloway for Edmonton. And for Vancouver, Niels Hoglander. A steal on Pettersson. And it's flicked down the ice by Fogle. McLeod in hot pursuit of Quinn Hughes. He's one of the guys who can skate with him for sure. Hughes lead pass, and then Besser too much on it behind Pettersson, and Vancouver must regroup. This Canucks power play has not been a positive for much of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Pettersson in over the line, left-hand side. All their scoring has come on the road. They don't have a home power play goal yet in the series. Hughes, left side for Besser. Back to the high slot, Elias Pettersson. Besser, Pettersson, Hughes, Miller. Lindholm is the net front presence. Hughes to Besser. Hughes high slot. Besser left faceoff dot. Crossing. Miller loading up. Not shooting at 37 during the regular season. Now one times it over to Besser. Tipped just wide by Lindholm. Vancouver moved it around nicely, but didn't get the shot on net. Now Miller. Hard pass to Lindholm. He'll get it back deep right corner. Tried to fire it across, and Desharnais with an active stick, and Vancouver must regroup. Canucks running out of time. Besser hits the Edmonton line. Miller to the middle of the ice. Lindholm had a poke checked off his stick, and the Oilers have killed off another one. Vancouver's 0 for 2 on the power play in this first period. Oiler penalty kill continues to be a titan of strength in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Off the successful kill, Draisaitl ahead to McDavid. They're with Hyman. McDavid gives it to Draisaitl, trying to go back in front, and that was deflected off a skate, and Bouchard has to retreat to his own blue line under pressure from Bluger. Kulak to Hyman. Did he get a stick on it? No. Icing whistled against Edmonton with 6:14 to go in the first period. Bit of a missed opportunity there, Bob. No shot, with the Oilers looking good in terms of numbers off the rush.
Well, they've done a really good job defending Connor McDavid. They got those long, rangy teams. You got to give credit to Jim Rutherford. And Patrick Albee. They've rebuilt this team.
A year ago, Hughes and Myers were their top pair.
Yeah.
They didn't have much behind them, quite frankly. Now they've got Zadorov and Cole. They've got some size back there. And they've added some puck movement with Ronick here off the draw to the right of Skinner. The Canucks are drawn offside. And with that, we'll take a break. 6:07 left to play in the first period. Dylan Holloway from Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. But Hoglander, the equalizer. And Game 6 between Vancouver and Edmonton is tied at 1 apiece, with the Canucks leading this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal 3-2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to avdiamond.ca today.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV. Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
6:07 to go in the first period. 1-1 our score. Rafi Torres announced in the building tonight, of course, one of the Oiler heroes during the 2006 Stanley Cup run that ended with a Game 7 loss to Carolina in the Stanley Cup final.
Jack, he was the best player in the ice in Game 5 and Game 7 in Carolina. For both teams, he dominated, almost tied it on a net drive, and Pisani hit the post in the rebound.
And he's the only Canuck with a later game-winning goal in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs than J.T. Miller. He scored with 19 seconds left to beat Boston in Game 1 of the 2011 Stanley Cup final as a member of the Canucks. Here's Draisaitl. Aim from the left-hand side. A one-timer ripped, and that was deflected up and out of play. Kane took the shot, and Garland took that one, and it was a painful block. With 5:50 to go in the first period, the Oilers will get another offensive zone face-off. We are tied at 1, and a face-off coming to the right of Artur Shilovs, who entered the game 5-3 with a save percentage of .907. Skinner, likewise, 5-3 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. His save percentage, .877. And we told you, against the Canucks in particular, it's been a struggle. Not just in this series, but for his career.
Just needs to bring stops tonight.
Face-off win for Lindholm. Chipped away from Hoglander, and the Canucks are bottled up in their own zone here. Nugent-Hopkins going to work. Crowd thought there might have been a call as going down in a heap was Zach Hyman, but breaking free, Elias Pettersson, and he'll shoot it in from center. Round the boards, Bouchard tried to usher it out. Canucks able to maintain. Down low in the left corner, Hoglander really getting worked over. Pettersson threw it around the boards for Tyler Myers to Lindholm in the high slot. He'll just feed it down low. Pettersson allows it to go through, and it's Hoglander against Bouchard, getting hacked and whacked. He'll leave it in turn for Lindholm, who always seems to bring his best against Edmonton. Hoglander double team, dropped and relieved of the puck. Shoveled out to Zadorov. Right point, Tyler Myers. Now it's going to be Elias Pettersson coming out of the corner. Snapped it wide, tough angle, and the rebound eludes Zadorov, and the Canucks have to come back to center. All three of the other teams in the conference final set. Florida will play the New York Rangers for the right to represent the Eastern Conference, and these two teams, whoever advances, will play Dallas. We suspect Game 1 of the Western Conference final will be Thursday. If there's a Game 7 between these two, it'll be Monday evening in Vancouver. I'm guessing 6 Mountain. But Colson trying to clear. Janmark knocked it down. Forced it back behind the Vancouver net. The lead pass chipped out by Di Giuseppe, and the Oilers have to roll back inside their own blue line. Desharnais takes a skate, and when he ducks behind his own net, Oman elects to change. Connor Brown, who set up Janmark for his goal in Game 5, will get it in deep, but the Canucks send it quickly through the neutral zone. Advancing is Carson Soucy to the Edmonton line. He'll pump it behind the Oiler net. Kulak up the left-hand side. Miller turned it over. Leon Draisaitl off the left-hand side. He'll bang it in deep. Soucy after it. Run off the puck by Draisaitl. Zadorov up the right-hand boards, and Besser attempts to clear. Trying to plow through traffic. Here's a one-timer in front, and Desharnais watches as Draisaitl did not get it cleanly on his stick. He was set up out of the corner, but Bob, I don't think he got it cleanly. It appeared to go off the heel of a stick.
Oilers have had a lot of that. They're gripping the stick a bit here, Jack.
Kulak up the left-hand side for Kane. Shoveled it ahead for Ryan McLeod. He'll bump it behind the Vancouver defense. That was a decent centering pass that appeared to be there. Luger nudges it ahead, center ice. Oilers defend their line, and I believe that puck deflected into the Edmonton bench with 3:02 remaining in this first period. An outstanding setup by Kane to Draisaitl, and he just heeled it over the net. That puck might have been wobbling. He did not get all he wanted on the shot, and as a result, the Canucks maintain a 1-1 tie. Tough Game 6, only 3 shots aside. We're back with the final 3 minutes of period 1 in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey. Ouch!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
1-1 our score. Game 7 between these two teams, I'd like to correct myself, will be 7 Mountain. So that's 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain. And that'll be Monday night, live from Vancouver. But the Oilers have to force a Game 7 first. Puck dropped at neutral, flipped in by Joshua, gloved by Skinner, and left for Matthias Ekholm. It's been a hard-fought first period here in Game 6. Shots are just 3 apiece, and 2:40 remain as the Oilers send it in deep. Quinn Hughes for the Canucks. Up at the Edmonton line, Bouchard turned it over. Garland shot it in deep. Skinner to knock it down and leave it for Bouchard. Oilers open the scoring. Dylan Holloway 8 minutes in, less than 2 minutes later. Hoglander tied it. Here's Nugent-Hopkins from Bouchard. Gives it to him. Bouchard rips one high and wide off the plexi. Lindholm will carry it up ice. trying to beat Ekholm. He does to the net. Trying to poke it 5-hole on Skinner, who makes the save. And Skinner makes the adjustment there because Lindholm's move was not unlike Connor Garland in Game 1 on the game winner. And Skinner that time made sure he had the 5-hole covered. And as he told me in the aftermath of Game 1, he just let the puck hit him. Yeah. And in course in Game 1, he said, I just should have basically stood there and let the puck hit me.
Leon Draisaitl out here to help Derek Ryan and Ryan McLeod in the face-off circle. Left side draw.
Ryan is out there. McLeod is not. Fogle and Draisaitl did win the draw on his own end. And he'll look to change right away. Ceci up the right-hand side. Ryan did get a tip. That'll negate icing. And McLeod is the first on the puck for the Oilers. 2 minutes to go. First period. Ryan had the puck knocked off his stick by Di Giuseppe. And it's forced back to Brett Kulak inside the Oiler blue line. Edmonton left to right. Bouncing puck. Shoveled back the other way. Di Giuseppe got a piece. Ceci directing Kulak to come over and play it. And now McLeod up the right-hand side for Ryan. Flipped in deep. Philip Roenick for Vancouver. Swiftly ahead for Besser. Rink wide to Quinn Hughes. He's got some open ice. He'll challenge McLeod in across the Edmonton line. Tried to thread it through to Besser. That was a poor decision. And the Canucks see the Oilers easily curl it back inside the Vancouver blue line. Roenick to settle it down. 1:15 to go in this first period. Canucks and the Oilers tied at 1 in Game 6 with Vancouver leading the best of 7 3 games to 2. Here's Kane to Draisaitl. Holloway shoots right circle and a save made by Shelovs. Holloway, of course, beat Shelovs 5-hole for the game's first goal. And now with 63 seconds to go, Edmonton an O-zone draw.
Well, Holloway's had a heck of a first period for the Edmonton Oilers, and you can maybe need to see him a little bit more.
50-50 jackpot, Bob, sitting at nearly $1.5 million, benefiting the Stollery and food banks of Alberta. Early bird prizes tonight. You got plenty of time. Signed Leon Draisaitl jersey and $25,000 cash.
Boy, I got to tell you, they changed the standard for shots.
Kane, shot blocked, kick back. Here's a shot taken up top by Kulak. Well, they might have taken one away from the Oilers. Now they even it up at 4 apiece as Pettersson wanders down the middle for Vancouver. But he's knocked off the puck. Draisaitl with Holloway and Kane. In over the line, Kulak taken off the puck. Canucks look to clear up the left-hand side. Di Giuseppe denied. Fired in by Pettersson. Skinner to knock it down. He'll hand off to Evan Bouchard. And now with a half minute to go in the period, it's a reset for Draisaitl. Game 6 is tied at 1. Lead pass, Kulak to Bouchard. From center, he sees it go off Holloway's stick and out of play. And Holloway wasn't yet in the offensive zone. So it's a neutral zone draw with 21.4 remaining in this first period. Game 6 tied at 1. Edmonton 3 times has trailed 3-2 in a best-of-7 series and rallied to win it. In 1990 and 1998, they were down 3-1 against Winnipeg and Colorado, respectively, and won the series in 7. And then most recently, of course, a couple years ago, 3-2 going into Game 6 in L.A. Tyson Barrie won it late. And then it was Cody Ceci and Connor McDavid scoring the goals in Game 7 back on home ice for a 2-0 win over LA in Game 7. Off the face-off, Bluger wins it cleanly. Myers from Carson Soucy, a flip. Bluger trying to negate icing, and he thought he had, but no. Ceci got back in time, and this may change the thinking here. Yep. Draisaitl and Bouchard will come on, and they're going to get Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman out there and basically go with the 5 guys that have been most offensive in not only this series, but basically the last 2 months of the regular season. Nurse is out there with Bouchard. He's been spelling Ekholm, whom we suspect is battling something over the last 2 or 3 games of this series. Final 15 seconds of the period, and Edmonton will go for it here with a face-off to Shelov's right-hand side. And Draisaitl's going to be chased out of the circle first and foremost, replaced by McDavid against Teddy Bluger. Bluger won the draw. Soucy waved it into the corner. Myers defending. McDavid Wrapped up with Bluger behind the net. Shakes him off, kicks it out to Nurse. 5 seconds. Nurse winds it around the boards. Draisaitl has to hurry from the right corner. One-timer at the horns. No, they'll wave it off. It's waved off. This is going to be very close. Bouchard teed it up. The puck went in the net. And on the television replay, it appeared as though time remained. Are they saying there were contact with a goalie?
That's what they're saying.
The call on the ice is no goal due to incidental contact with the goal.
There it is.
It is goal crease, and it was
that would have counted. I was going to say, they better review it. But the call was the contact with Shilovs and not the time remaining. It was very close time remaining. And there was a collision. And based on what we saw last night in the Dallas series, it's not going to come back.
That's not going to count.
It's McDavid, though ridden into the blue paint to some degree by Bluger, I don't see it with no goal being called on the ice, it being overturned. And that's based on you and I watching Matt Duchene, who did a lot less, get called for the same thing last night in Game 6 of that series.
The spirit of the rule was never intended to pull this many goals off the board. This one's understandable.
A lot more so than last night. I thought Dallas got rooked last night.
Dallas got hosed and still overcame it.
So you've got Carrick taking the face-off, and that'll be it for the first period. Incidental contact with a captain, Connor McDavid, finding the blue paint area against Artie Shilovs, and the Canucks were able to duck out of the period, still in a tie. That was very close. I think there were 0.2 of a second remaining when that puck hit the back of the net. And it's the contact rather than the time that became the deciding factor there as the officials continue to discuss. Niels Hoglander, the goal for Vancouver, and that'll upset the early tally by the man standing by with Brendan Escott, and that's Dylan Holloway.
Yeah, and a beautiful goal that it was. Just hard charging toward the net, Dylan. Take us through your mindset, maybe on that goal, but also factoring in on what's been a productive second line.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started with the set breakout. I think they kind of cheated knowing Leo was going to pick it up, and he made a great play up to me. And then I was just able to catch their D a little bit flat-footed and kind of drive to the net.
Just talk about maintaining the emotional balance, I suppose. You obviously see something like that happen right at the end of the period, but knowing all that's on the line in this game, just moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to trust the process, trust how we play. When we're on our game, no team can compete with us, so we got to stick to that. Just roll all 4 lines, get the momentum, and just keep it.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Awesome, thank you.
Guys?
And thank you, Brendan. Our score after 20 minutes, Bob. It's airtight out there.
It is.
Shots are 4 apiece. Game is 1 apiece. Holloway and Hoglander, again, similar to Game 5. The teams are starting to get depth scoring, and it's being sawed off again by Vancouver time and time again. When Edmonton seems to get the edge, the Canucks are able to counter with a goal eerily similar. In this case, Holloway provides depth scoring, and then Hoglander finally gets off the schneid.
Ryan McLeod would like that sequence back. He had an opportunity to channel it off in the neutral ice area. He wasn't able to do so. Then the puck goes in the corner, and Pettersson makes a nice move. But he needed to be assisted there by the combination of Nurse and Darnay in front of the net. I mean, you got to be able to box Hoglander out. They didn't do that. The goal was brilliant. It was a brilliant individual effort.
Holloway.
Yes, fantastic goal for him. And one where, you know what, he's feeling it. Get him going. Keep playing him. Ride the minutes. Leon recognizes it. Vancouver did a good job. They suppressed shots. They blocked a lot of shots. Now, conversely, Jack Edmonton did a good job in the PK because the Canucks didn't have a sniff. And you would think that some of the like they called Draisaitl for an overt incidental contact play with Garland. You would think that some of the stuff that is would even up in a game. And so we'll just have to wait for that to occur here. But given that Edmonton was shorthanded twice in the first period, the fact that you're even after one when you've only got 4 shots on goal, I'd say you'll take that if you're an Oilers partisan.
Well, he only gave up 4, and this has been a recurring theme in this series. It's the 4th time in the 6 games that Edmonton has given up 5 shots or less in the first period, and the Oilers have scored in the first period in every game of this series. So they've had a lead in their 3 previous losses in this series. It's not like Edmonton has been out of this series at any point. They're down 3-2. They must win tonight to survive. They open the scoring tonight, but Vancouver, the resilient bunch that they've been, and make no mistake, if you look at Vancouver's wins in the postseason, 5 of their 7 have been come-from-behind efforts. Well, they come from behind again to even the score after the opening 20 minutes. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown on deck. Edmonton, Vancouver, tied at 1 through 20 in Game 6. Game 7, if required, Monday night, 7 Mountain in Vancouver. Oilers have to get there first. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
CHED Edmonton. An easy way to listen is to tell your smart device to play 630 CHED. Edmonton's news, today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Draisaitl up to Holloway, right-hand side. He's in. Wrist shot, score! Dylan Holloway from Draisaitl. Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead in Game 6.
Well, some brilliance by Dylan Holloway. 8:18 into the first period, storming through the Canucks defense, tucking the puck under Shelof's. That's your highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. Hoglander tied it a minute 45 later. We will talk about the goals and a couple other sequences, Rob, but goalie interference. And John Shannon said it best before the show on our face-off show on 630 CHED. Probably need to look at the rule and some of the situations.
Yes.
Bouchard blasts one there, and McDavid called for goalie interference. It was waved off on the ice, so the Oilers would have had to challenge it for it to be a goal. They decided not to. It is a tough one, but again, I always go to the rule book. Incidental contact of a goalkeeper not permitted inside the goal crease.
To me, that was easy. There was zero chance that was going to count. Having said that, there's been many times I've thought that already in the playoffs, but too risky for the coaching staff of the Oilers to challenge it, because I would say there's a 2% chance of it being successful, and if you're wrong, then you're going to be shorthanded to start the second period. McDavid jumps. I think he's jumping out of fear of the puck coming in from Bouchard, and I don't blame him, but he jumps right into the goalie. Shelov sells it, but it was an easy call. That was no goal. It was the right call by the referees.
Yeah, I mean, it would certainly would be risky to do this in a playoff game for a goaltender, but the rule as written, and like we saw the one, was it Bobrovsky lost his stick?
Yep.
And he makes sure he throws his blocker hand up in the air. Oh, I don't have a stick. Like, it's to the point now where, you know, a goalie's like, well, I didn't stop it. Maybe I can sell some sort of interference.
I don't blame you. I mean, the game last night, Colorado versus Dallas. The Dallas scored in overtime. Duchesne was standing outside of the crease the entire time. He never went in the crease. And they disallowed a goal. To me, and I know that Jack and Bob just talked about it, that was as blatant a goal as you're going to see. And now the Dallas Stars came back and won the hockey game, but these missed calls or misreads, or the coaches have no idea, the players have no idea. coaches are calling for challenges in playoff games and being wrong, and it's costing them not only the loss of the goal, but also it's costing them penalties. There's so much confusion, and I know that John said that these guys have a tough job, and they do, but it's the same guys every game watching it. So there's got to be some consistency. There isn't, although tonight's was very easy to call. Is Connor McDavid, he skated on his own into the blue paint. He hits the goaltender, Shilovs, and the referee saw it right away. To me, it's a good play by McDavid. Go to the net.
Yeah.
Bump the goalie if you have to. To me, that was an unforced error, though, before that. Tyler Myers has the puck. He ices it with 15 seconds to go in the period. It just about cost the Vancouver Canucks. Highly entertaining first period, highly tense first period, and I don't know if there's anything else we should have expected. These are two very evenly matched teams that have been even through 5 games and are now even through the first period of Game 6.
What a moment for Holloway. Just a fantastic burst of speed.
Well, he beats 3 players. He beats Pettersson coming up the boards. He beats Quinn Hughes. He beat actually 4, because then he beats Hronik, and then finally he beats, with a nice little move, Shilov. So it was a wonderful goal. The problem for the Oilers, they didn't get to celebrate it for long. It was 2 minutes later when they give up the goal against the Vancouver Canucks. Every time they give up something, they seem to get it back very, very quickly. This place would have been buzzing. It would be good to see the Oilers extend a lead on home ice and really get the crowd into it. But yes, Dylan Holloway has been very good in this series. Dylan Holloway was fantastic on that shift, and that was a very pretty goal that got the Oilers the lead to start.
But and then, Rob, the goal against, and that's the frustrating thing, and we've talked about throughout the series, even some games in which the Oilers have had a lot of shots on goal, still feels like everything is contested. Now, the goalie's save percentage, the shots were 4-4, by the way, everybody, so the save percentage is 750. But, Skinner stops a wide-open guy at the top of the crease.
Yep.
And then, without being touched, the same player gets another shot on the rebound. In my mind, Skinner's done his job. You can't have a guy get 2 whacks from that distance.
100% he did his job. Pettersson, who was very quiet for the last month and a half, 2 months of the season, got called up by his coach right here in Edmonton after Game 4, came out and had a really good Game 5 in Vancouver, and tonight has been good as well, and that was a pretty play. In basketball, they say you broke his ankles. He broke the ankles of Ryan McLeod, got him going one way, then the other, then went behind the net. And Hoglander in front of the net, who's been in and out of the lineup, he's standing in front of the net, and you're right, he gets 2 whacks on it. Nurse goes to take Pettersson, who looked like he was going behind the net. Vinny, I'm not sure which guy he took, but the Oilers did not have numbers in front of the net, and Hoglander gets 2 whacks. And you said it, the Edmonton Oilers have not had uncontested shots from the front of the net.
Yep.
And Hoglander, who is a goal scorer, he had over 20 this season. He gets 2 chances at it. That's not on Skinner. That's on McLeod and the defensive pairing not cleaning up in front of the net. Lean on him. You have to lean on him. You got to make it hard. This was a period. It was 1-1. Reed, there's only 4 shots each. But both teams missed glorious chances.
Yep.
P.S. Suter had a wide-open net on the power. I think it was on the power play. But the rebound right off the backboards comes out. He's got Skinner out and wide-open net, and he misses the net. Now, he's on his normal side, so it's a hard angle. But he can hit that every time in practice. And then in the opposite end, a wonderful pass by Evander Kane to Leon. One of the few times an Oiler, especially one of their star players, has been standing alone in front of the net uncontested. The puck just fluttered on Leon, and Leon's got he's got a cricket type of stick. It's that wide, and he's still not able to get wood on it, and just kind of flutters it past the net. So both teams, as though they only have 4 shots on net, both teams had a couple other glorious opportunities. I tell you, I'm not sure. There was tension before the game. I'm not sure any of it has subsided here after 20 minutes.
1-1 after 1. 4 Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Road Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101-23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Evacuated residents from several Fort McMurray neighborhoods are now allowed to return home after Mother Nature decided to help out on the nearby wildfire front, pleasing local fire chief Jody Butts.
If you've never had the opportunity to see the fire chief dancing in the rain, you missed your opportunity earlier this morning.
Construction of fire guards has been completed between the northern edge of the blaze and Fort McMurray, and crews have completed spraying land-based fire retardant in the forested areas that border evacuated neighborhoods. The city of Edmonton says the Emergency Operations Center and the Clairview Recreation Center will now end its services at 10 o'clock tonight due to the news. And over in northeastern BC, the mayor of Fort Nelson says there's a camp set up now to support wildfire personnel there that looks like a military camp, but it's not the military. The Parker Lake wildfire is now about 123 square kilometers in size, while the Patry Creek wildfire now covers about 717 square kilometers. News on demand at 630ched.com.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
The official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Thunder lead the Mavericks 53-47 late in the first half in the NBA. Morikawa and Schauffele tied for the lead 15 under after 3 rounds at the PGA Championship. 1-1 Oilers and Canucks going to the second period. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring. From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Back for the start of the second period from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. I'm Jack Michaels along with Bob Stauffer. Shots for a side in that first period. Puck drop to start the second, and it's McLeod out there with Fogle and Ryan, and whistled up the left-hand side of the Canucks. That'll turn into an icing call 9 seconds in. Holloway from Draisaitl and Bouchard at 8:18 of the first. Hoglander tied it less than 2 minutes later, and that's where we sit as we begin the second period with the Oilers attacking from right to left. Draisaitl with that point now has 99 in his first 60 playoff games. One more, he'll be at the century mark. The only men to do it faster, Wayne and Mario. And in the NHL, when you start going to the one-name identification, you know you're in rarefied air. Puck comes loose off the draw and is iced again, this time by JT Miller, and the faceoff will come back in the Vancouver zone for a second time, 23 seconds into the second period. And Bob, this time the Oilers will change it up and get a more offensive look out there with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. So 5-on-5 here early in the second. A little bit of a wrinkle.
Draisaitl's 3-0 in the circle before that.
Miller won the draw around the left-hand boards. Pius Suter will get out of the zone. McDavid has not scored or has not been involved in a goal for Edmonton with JT Miller on the ice the entire series. They played 47 minutes of 5-on-5, and despite the fact Edmonton's had the better chances, Vancouver has scored twice and Edmonton hasn't scored at all. Here's Miller back behind the Edmonton net, ripped wide by Soucy. Rebound for Leon Draisaitl. Oilers trying to turn this game into their advantage and thus force a Game 7 Monday night back in Vancouver. Draisaitl and Hoglander grappling for possession of the puck. There was a tie-up in front of the Edmonton net involving McDavid. And finally, Draisaitl is able to weave his way through the neutral zone, and it's hoisted in by Ekholm. Line change Edmonton. Philip Roman gathers it for Vancouver. Up the right-hand side, Pettersson. Bumped ahead for Joshua, defended by Ceci, who smoked Joshua into the boards. That was a good play. Holloway, a bit of a wrap-up down low. Puck comes free. Hughes to Roenick. He'll shoot, redirected wide, dangerously by Bluger. Joshua will put it down low, and ultimately that hops off the plexi and out of play with 18:22 to play in this second period. The game tied at 1. Edmonton's season at stake. The Oilers in the second round playing in a Game 6 to survive for the second straight year.
Jack, I got to tell you, Rick Tocchet's going to win Coach of the Year. We know that. And he should get part of the paycheck that Dakota Joshua gets in his next deal, because he has turned Joshua into a great player. This guy's been a force all playoffs for the Canucks.
Oman between Di Giuseppe and Vasily Podkolzin, and off the draw, the Oilers come up with a puck. Kulak did not get it out. Podkolzin shovels it down low. Oman, he's knocked off balance after it, and a clear for Kulak. Picked up and fired back in by Zadorov. And Edmonton hemmed in here. Skinner to play it up the left-hand side. Canucks try to bottle it up, but this time Janmark breaks loose. At center ice, he'll try to shovel it in. Bouncing puck corralled for a moment by Oman, but Colson helps usher it back to center. Eventually fishing after it was Brown. A hard hit on Janmark as he'll get it in deep. Carrick's drawn a penalty against Zadorov. And then Carrick turned around to stare at Zadorov. It's a hold against Vancouver. And Edmonton, for the first time tonight, awarded a power play, and you got to give the fourth line credit. Sam Carrick had not played since Game 3 against LA, but he kept his feet moving, and he drew a holding call against Zadorov.
Well, Edmonton's power play was 5 for 10 in the opening 2 games of the series. I mean, he got his helmet, ripped the lid off.
Well, not entirely. He nearly beheaded him, but he didn't take it off entirely.
Wasn't a total guillotine job there.
No.
5 for 10 in the first 4 games, but 0 for 5 in Game 5. Much more aggressive Vancouver PK.
Draisaitl won the draw, but we'll do it again. Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, and Bouchard. Leon Draisaitl leads the league with 6 power play goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hyman has 4.
If Edmonton gets a win, my guess is they take it to the net within the first 12 to 15 seconds of the power play. Jack, let's see if that happens. If they get a face-off win.
McDavid won the draw. Nugent-Hopkins to Bouchard, high slot. Nugent-Hopkins, left side McDavid, hard to the net, kicked it back. Nugent-Hopkins looking for room, it's not there. In the corner, he'll feed it back to Bouchard. Now Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid in front, missed time. I think your 12 to 15 seconds expired. Bouchard to Draisaitl, right circle. McDavid to Draisaitl in front, bounced around. Canucks comes over and unable to clear. Missed opportunity that time for Roenick. Nugent-Hopkins kept it alive on the half wall for Leon Draisaitl. Now from behind the net, trying to center, broken up by Lindholm. He'll get over, backhanded up the boards, but held in by Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins dishing off to Leon Draisaitl. Top of the right circle, loading up, no shot. Nugent-Hopkins. Draisaitl, one-timer block. Chance for Teddy Bluger to clear. Tried to reverse it back behind the net. Roenick plowing through traffic, slashed the stick, and no penalty was called. Roenick will fire it down the ice. Well, I guess that's one each way. Nurse broke Hughes' stick earlier, but that time McDavid appeared to have the stick slashed out of his hand. But no 5-on-3 for the Oilers. Instead, it's McDavid. Back into the offensive zone for Nugent-Hopkins. 40 seconds on the power play. Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid, to the net. Seeloffs is down, centering past Bouchard. And then Nugent-Hopkins has it broken up by Tyler Myers. And Vancouver steps up to center ice. And getting it in deep, Niels Oman. Bob, I'd still say the Oilers were too selective.
Yeah.
Here's McDavid carrying the puck through the neutral zone. Around Joshua, a lot of room. Susie backing off, and a shot off the blocker and out of play of Shilov's. Carson Susie backing up. He ended a 43-game goal drought with a goal in Game 5. That time he gave McDavid plenty of room and elected to make Shilov's make a save, which he did from about 30 feet.
Need more than that Oilers power play. And Bouchard with a prime chance in the kill zone, and he didn't let it rip.
Well, their first really play at the net was McDavid centering pass to Hyman, and that came about 30 seconds in. So McLeod with 17 seconds still on the man advantage, beat cleanly off the faceoff by Miller, and then a miscommunication between Susie and Myers allows Fogle to keep the puck in the offensive zone for Edmonton. Pedersen plowed into it. Miller was able to clear ahead for Carson Susie, and he'll slap it in from center. Carson Susie is the only Canadian in the lineup for Vancouver tonight. Here's Ceci working it up the right-hand side. McLeod gets it back from Fogle, and his shot denied by Shilovs, who then made a sharp angle save on Fogle. Turned over. Fogle had it and bobbled it off his stick, and Miller will shovel it ahead. Vancouver, a rare miscue in its own end in terms of just puck management. Roenick, right-hand side, Miller, and sent in deep for Pius Suter. He'll work it behind the net. Brock Besser cut off. Canucks keep it in the offensive zone for now. Miller down low to Besser. He's got the puck, top of the left circle. Swept around to Ian Cole, who played sparingly in the first. Gets it back, sharp angle right corner. Fired, shot was blocked. Cole playing his 26th potential series clincher. Shot by Hughes, dropped and then held by Stuart Skinner through a screen. That's Vancouver's first shot on goal of this second period. 5 1/4 gone by. Edmonton and Vancouver tied at 1 in Game 6. Oilers season on the line. An Edmonton victory, and there's a Game 7, 7 Mountain Time on Monday night from Vancouver.
That might have been the best save of the game for Stuart Skinner. He had to fight that one off.
Three power plays in the game, 2 for Vancouver, 1 for Edmonton. None converted. 50-50 jackpot at $1.65 million. Still got time to get in for our early bird prizes. Signed Leon Draisaitl jersey at $25,000 cash, benefiting Food Banks of Alberta and Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Off the face-off, Kane will skate it down the right-hand side. Challenge Hughes, a shot, pinballed around, brushed up by Zadorov to Teddy Bluger. He tries to reverse back behind the net. Hughes scampers after it. He was taken down in the corner, and Kane finishes his check, but the Canucks dug it off the half wall. Joshua to Garland, and he'll steer it ahead for Bluger. In on the forecheck against Kulak, played by Desharnais up the right-hand side to Kane. By Holloway, didn't handle the pass cleanly, and then were the Oilers offside there. 14-11 to go in the second, and the faceoff will come out to neutral ice. Vancouver has coughed up a couple of 3-2 series leads. 2003 against Minnesota, 2011 Stanley Cup final against Boston. But the Canucks are 4-1 in the playoffs. And interestingly enough, in the second round of this postseason, Bob, the visiting teams have gone 15-8. So home ice has not meant a great deal. And actually, the last 2 years, the visitors have won more than 50% of the time. Lead pass Soucy up the left-hand side. Pedersen in with Lindholm and Hoglander, who has the Vancouver goal. Holloway, the Edmonton goal. McLeod pops it back through the middle. Hughes over to Philip Roenick. Up the right-hand side. Pedersen got a touch. Stuart Skinner out to handle it. 10-9 lifetime in the playoffs coming in. Save percentage of .881. He had started 20 in a row before being relieved by Pickard for 4 and 5. Here's Fogle, hard to the net, trying to jam it home, and Shilov's kept it out. Fogle did a nice job not taking goaltender interference. Hoglander ahead. Miller kicks it back. Hoglander a shot. That one off a skate. Picked up in stride by Derek Ryan. Works his way through the middle of the ice to Evan Bouchard. Shot, save, Shilov's reaching out. And he's able to pull it in at the last instant with Bouchard bearing down on him. The third all-time leading scorer amongst NHL defensemen in Stanley Cup history. Points per game, you've got Orr, then you've got Makar, then you've got Evan Bouchard. But none of that matters for Edmonton. What the Oilers need is a win in Game 6, survive and advance to a Game 7, potentially Monday night in Vancouver. Oilers won, Canucks won, 13-14 to play in period 2. And this is the Stanley Cup playoffs at Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College and supported distance learning. NLC knows that students need attention, support, and the synergy between instructors and peers to keep motivated and connected. They are here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Because at Northern Lakes College, they count their success one student at a time. northernlakescollege.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Camco, safety isn't just a priority. It's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit Camco.com/careers today.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Face off to Shelov's left. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. McDavid out there with Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman. Ekholm was able to keep the puck in off the draw. Winding around JT Miller. He'll reverse back. Tough pass into the skates of Soucy. Received by Miller on a return and up through center. Ekholm tried to curl it behind Tyler Myers. Nugent-Hopkins created for McDavid. Wide open Hyman, and a shot fought off by Shelovs. He got up with a blocker. Here's Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid. Rolls up. Hyman in his feet. Shoots. Save. Rebound. Score. It hopped through Shelovs and just over the stick of Soucy. And Zach Hyman muscles home his 10th of the postseason. 2-1 Edmonton in Game 6.
It's part of Zach Hyman's game that's improved. That mid-slot shot, 2 opportunities for Hyman, and McDavid finds him on the second one. And I'm going to tell you this right now, that Arthur Shelovs will tell you he should have come up with a save there. And Soucy almost pulled that puck out of the net, but it's 2-1 Edmonton.
Time 7:14. McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins with the assists on Zach Hyman's league-leading 10th of the playoffs. Shelovs made a good save initially, and that one just kind of handcuffed him a bit and powered right through him. Hyman's improved his shot, had enough steam on it to get it through Shelovs and beyond the diving Soucy. And it's 2-1 Edmonton in Game 6. Desharnais thrust behind the net, and Vancouver up the right-hand side. On the other hand, the Canucks, just like the Oilers against Besser, you can't give them that much room. Here's a lead pass left wing, and Fanning on a drive was Janmark, then ricocheted out in front. I mean, Hyman had a lot of time in the slot. That can freeze a goaltender. Here's Nurse, left point, waits, gives it up. Much on that shot, picked up by Pettersson easily. Scampers through the neutral zone, good poke check by Desharnais, and that forced back. Here's Nurse, hesitation move, dumps it in. Shelov steers it over. Cole taken out. Di Giuseppe got railroaded by Kane. Cole got back into the play up the right-hand side, clubbed down the ice by Lindholm. This will be an icing call against Vancouver as Ceci back to draw the icing call. The shots, it must be noted, in this second period, 8-1 for Edmonton. Hyman his 10th from McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins at 7:14 of the second period. Face-off, cleanly won by Lindholm. Ripped around the boards. Cole, Di Giuseppe gets it inside the Edmonton line. Kulak to Draisaitl. Kane tried to jam it in, and that threw Draisaitl offside as the Let's Go Oilers chant reverberates throughout the 18,347, gathered principally to push Edmonton into a Game 7 against Vancouver on Monday night. Hyman now with 24 goals in 39 games as an Oiler in the playoffs. Blasted in by Ceci from beyond the blue line. Save Shelovs. Rebound tipped out to Connor Garland. And the Canucks playing from behind again. Joshua on the half wall. It's Holloway. Didn't get much on it, but still cleared successfully by Ceci to Kulak and down the left-hand boards. Hughes ahead of Draisaitl. Despite being pestered, is able to lift back through center. Garland attacking the line, gives it up. Rodick a shot to save made by Stuart Skinner. Rebound Kane. Could not chop it out. Garland will put it right back down low for Joshua. He gets through Ceci. He looks inside. There's nothing there. Gives it up for Connor Garland. Angles a pass off the boards to Soucy. Fires, and that went high blocker and sailed out of play with 10:37 to go in the second period. And the Oilers still leading Game 6 by a count of 2-1.
Having any fun tonight, John?
Well, it's always an exciting time. I genuinely enjoy your pacing antics during elimination games. I've come to expect that you're going to be wired as much as this crowd of 18,347 are. It's Stanley Cup playoff hockey. You're getting into the latter stages of May, Bob. What's not to like?
Absolutely. But the worst part about this for us is there's nothing we can do about it. We can just describe it. Like, you don't have a chance to impact it. How fortunate for the players. And they're the reason we're all here. But they get impacted.
Oman will take the draw against Sam Carrick. Won the face-off. Desharnais tries to guide it out. Held in by Podkolzin. He's hit hard by Carrick. The puck shaken free. Eventually to Ryan McLeod. McLeod out there with Carrick and Fogle right now. McLeod, a drop pass over the line. Carrick a shot. He missed short side. Rebound Podkolzin, and he'll golf it out of the zone. Lands at center ice. Darnell Nurse tracked it all the way and punched it back inside Vancouver territory. 30 minutes complete of Game 6. The Oilers are halfway to a Game 7, but no lead has been safe in this series. 5 consecutive one-goal games to begin the series. First time that's happened since 2017. Fogle hits the line. A shot drifts wide. Rebound will picked up by Quinn Hughes. He's run into the boards by Derek Ryan. A clear. Di Giuseppe got it as far as center, but that's all. Ekholm to Bouchard, and now McDavid. Building speed. In over the line. Hits Ekholm. A shot. Save. Sheloffs. He was out of position for the rebound. McDavid will throw it around the boards. McDavid back on the score sheet with an assist on the Hyman goal. He had been held to just one assist in the prior 3 games. Hyman takes it hard back behind the net. The Oilers have lost 9 games in a row in the playoffs when McDavid isn't on the score sheet. Here's McDavid, top of the right circle. Peeling away from Hughes. Tried to stuff it down low. Besser backhanded it out to center. Bouchard tried to go cross ice, broken up. Good play by Suter. But Bouchard was able to reel it in. Now Ekholm ahead to McDavid. Pulls up left point. Surveys, kicks it one-timer, and that was blistered off the pads of Shelovs. Grabbed by Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid back to Bouchard. Slap shot. Score! 3-1 Edmonton. Evan Bouchard drills home his 5th of the playoffs, and the Oilers are up a deuce.
Well, that was a rocket. Nugent-Hopkins found the loose puck, and then McDavid a quick decision, a long-range bomber. Hyman with the flyby in front of the net. Don't think he got a piece of it, but the Edmonton Oilers have themselves a 2-goal lead.
McDavid in the 13 prior games this season that he had been held without a point, he bounced back with 27 points in those 13 games. Better than 2 a game. Well, he has 2 assists in this second period, 2 primaries, and the Oilers have turned a 1-1 tie into a 3-1 advantage in Game 6. Puck drop at center. Miller wins it for Vancouver. And a 2-goal lead for the Oilers at home. Looking to keep their season alive. Walking back in and offside is Connor Brown off the draw. Now this crowd in an absolute uproar. Bouchard's 5th goal and 17th point of the postseason has put Edmonton up 3-1 in Game 6. 8.5 to play second period. Timeout on the ice. This is Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Western Conference semifinal. Second round. Rogers Place. Downtown Edmonton. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Situated in the heart of Ice District, Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun. A building like no other in a location like no other. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
The
brick in the Edmonton Oilers. Both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
The Oilers had 60 minutes to live entering tonight's game. Well, now they're up 3-1, trying to generate another 60 on Monday night in Vancouver. McDavid has assisted on both goals, and now off the neutral zone draw, backhander toward the net from Evander Kane. Shelov's guides to the corner. Edmonton pinches down low. Ian Cole up the left-hand side. McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins with the assists on goals for Hyman and Bouchard here in the second period to break open a 1-1 game. JT Miller burrows his way in deep. Now Draisaitl with control of the puck for Edmonton. A dart up the middle. CC in over the line, right wing. Defended by Zadorov. Winds up in the feet of the official in the far corner. CC back on the puck, right side. Tries to hit Kane and does. After a deflection, it's nudged in front. And Shelovs will fall on it with 7:47 to go in the second period. And Vancouver has mustered a grand total of 6 shots against 32 minutes against Stuart Skinner. And it must be stated, we talked about all season long how hard Edmonton played in front of Calvin Pickard. Now in a bit of role reversal, with Pickard having offered up 2 quality starts and Skinner coming up after some shaky performances. The Oilers are insulating their goaltender quite nicely tonight.
Jack, until game number 5 in Vancouver, Edmonton had given up the fewest high-danger scoring chances per 60 in the entire league.
Face
in
off,
the playoffs.
Win for Lindholm. Well, they've done it again tonight. I mean, I'm sorry, but Vancouver's scored on the only real scoring chance they've had. Up the right-hand side. Hughes, is that too simplistic? I mean, I think the Oilers have choked the life out of the Vancouver offense. Here's a dump in that Shelovs is forced to cover. The shots are 15-6 Edmonton for the game, 11-2 in this second period. And this is what we observed during the 16-game winning streak. That was not a blitzkrieg of Edmonton offense for a month and a half.
It was defense. What was the mark? 2 goals or fewer?
In 14 of the 16 games. I mean,
you're going to win games when you do that. And you have the Oilers power play. And finished 4th this year in goals for. Last year they were 1st.
And the Oilers don't have a power play goal tonight. 3 at even strength.
Well, they had the 1 power play. Could have had one right off the draw. Kane was up the middle. There was a little interior hook.
Face off right side of Shelovs. We're going to start calling little interior hooks, Bob. We're going to be here all night.
You think?
Susie up the left-hand side.
Still trying to figure out the penalty on Pedersen.
Miller right side to Tyler Myers. McLeod tried to jam it up the wall. Could not. Derek Ryan defending in his own end, allows Nurse to wander over. Hughes let it go through. From distance, Zadorov, and that dangerously redirected wide of Stuart Skinner. Vancouver loves that high slot tip going back to the Sedin days. Here's Myers looking for room, but can't thread a shot through. Oilers in the lane, and it's cleared out to Warren Fogle. He'll snap it in from center ice. Edmonton back in on the forecheck right to left. Canucks Myers will clear safely to Garland, and from center ice, he tried to smack it in, fanned on it, given a second opportunity. He collided with Kulak and then came through, but did he wrestle Kulak to the ice? He did. He threw Kulak down to create separation, and in the process, might have put his club shorthanded. 2 minutes for roughing Connor Garland. Canucks getting a bit frustrated. Garland thought Kulak's hit was high and just hog-tied him, threw him down. And now he's put his glove short-handed. And the Canucks on a bit of a precipice here. You do not want to go 4-1 down with 25 minutes to play. Now, I know they've come back in that situation, but it's fool's gold to think you can do it when you've managed 6 shots in 34 minutes.
Part of the reason they came back is Leon Draisaitl missed the final 10 minutes in the second and was compromised in the third.
Well, the Oilers didn't take a shot on net for 24 minutes.
That would be the other part of the reason why they were able to do it.
Draisaitl won the faceoff. Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, and now McDavid down low. Tried to thread it through there. And then taken away by McDavid against Blueger, who was a little too casual clearing that puck. Will he pay for it? Nugent-Hopkins to Draisaitl. Tried to fire it off the left shoulder of Shelov's. That was fought off. Bouchard will keep it down low. Hyman to Nugent-Hopkins. Canucks with a chance to clear. Cole got it through and charges down the right-hand side with Blueger. Cole was reeled in and coughed it up. On the giveaway, Nugent-Hopkins back across the line. Draisaitl tried to center, only to see that carom off a Canuck body and fly out of play with 5:58 to go in the second period and a minute 22 on the penalty to Connor Garland. This is an Atco power play, Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer. Face off right side of Shelov's.
I'll put the puck right to the net if I'm Edmonton. He's just given up 2. Get it to the net.
Well, and again, I go back to that game 1. You could have had him out of there potentially. And maybe the series completely changes if Casey DeSmith gets a sniff. Off the draw, JT Miller wires it around. I mean, we've talked about fatigue maybe with Skinner. What about Shelov's? Yeah. He hasn't been in this crucible. Nothing like it. He's making a 9th consecutive start. No Canuck has done that in 2 years. Here's McDavid in across the line. Bouchard.
Give the puck, give the puck.
Draisaitl to McDavid. And now a shot and a save made. Hyman was high-sticked in front. And it will be a 5-on-3 for 55 seconds. And do you think about a timeout if you're Chris Knobloch? I think it's just going to be a 2. 5.5 to go, second period.
Minor penalty. High sticking.
Do you ponder a TO here?
Why not? It's not like you get a roll. Timeouts carrying forward.
I mean, you've got a minute 5 already with these guys on the ice.
Now here's where you got to win the draw.
Golden opportunity for the Oilers to break open Game 6. Edmonton won a Game 6 on home ice against Anaheim 7-1. The guy taking the face-off, Leon Draisaitl, had 3 goals and 5 points in that game.
They're quick to wave Leon out here.
And he'll be replaced by McDavid, who has 2 assists. Draisaitl 1 in this do-or-die Game 6. And a face-off win for Vancouver. What a great knockdown by Draisaitl against Myerson. He didn't play with a high stick. So the Canucks don't get the length of the ice clear. And it's McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins down low, trying to center, covered by Shelov's. Tried to saucer that in front for Hyman, and it was denied. 41 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Face off to Shelov's right. 5:17 to go in the second period. Edmonton on the verge of gaining significant separation here.
Got to get one here for the Oilers.
Draisaitl won the face-off cleanly. Back to Bouchard. He'll walk the line. McDavid. Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid. One-timer Draisaitl. That stayed out. Rebound Nugent-Hopkins. Draisaitl right circle. Loading up. No shot. Sent it across. Partially tipped. McDavid gathers. Moves it back to Bouchard. High slot. Showing slapper. McDavid turned it over. Clean steal and a good read by Elias Lindholm.
What the puck on the net.
Skinner to Bouchard, and now McDavid. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Hustles it over the line right to left. Nugent-Hopkins kicks it back to Bouchard. McDavid left circle shot, tipped off of Hyman and skipped into the corner. Draisaitl to the point. Extra man on for Vancouver is Garland, trying to set up Nugent-Hopkins. It's back to a 5-on-4 now. Garland pressure up top with Blueger. Nugent-Hopkins shoveled it down low for McDavid. Getting around Rodick and now moving it to Draisaitl on the goal line. Right face-off dot, crossing to McDavid, tipped away and out of the zone. McDavid able to pick it up, moves it back to Draisaitl, back across the line, 35 seconds left on the Atco power play. 3-1 Edmonton in Game 6. McDavid moving it to Bouchard. McDavid, Draisaitl one-timer and a save. Sheeloff's big rebound high in the air. Draisaitl, beautiful feed. McDavid, Bouchard, slap shot, and that stayed out and hopped off the stanchion back in front of the net. Still bouncing around, crazy hop. Vancouver can't clear. 8 seconds left on the power play. Tipped over to Draisaitl, right circle. Now down low, McDavid will control. Hit by Roenick. Canucks lunging. Roenick lost the stick. McDavid out to the point. Power play is over. Shot Bouchard. Myers couldn't clear. Draisaitl right corner. Vancouver's killed it off, but hasn't gotten it out of the zone. On the ice shot. Save Sheeloff's rebound. Pulled out of there and cleared down the ice by Roenick. It got through Sheeloff's. I don't think it was going to end up in the net. But Roenick made clear, swinging it out of the blue paint and down the ice. 3:12 left in the second period. And a face-off to the right side of Sheeloff's. The Canucks are exhausted. They have 5 players. That's the good news, but they're gassed. 3 of them have been out there for 2 minutes.
They did a great job killing that off, and Edmonton maybe a little bit unfortunate not to have scored a 4th goal.
Canucks refused to get blown out, Bob. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Vancouver.
Yeah.
The Oilers just got a couple shots that time in the power play. McLeod. Face off. Luger tied it up. Myers looking to clear. Backing off. Canucks will bring it out. Long change in the second. They'll make it. Luger to Miller. Shot from distance. Glove by Skinner. And now Vancouver will get fresh personnel out with exactly 3 minutes to go in the second period of a game where Edmonton has outshot Vancouver 18-7. The Oilers got 2 at even strength in this second period, but could not convert. A full minute of 5-on-3 power play time, and the Canucks continue to hang around in Game 6. Edmonton 3, Vancouver 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes,
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
3-1 hockey game in Game 6. The Oilers' season on the line. They lead it by 2 goals. Holloway, Hyman, and Bouchard. McDavid 2 assists. Bouchard the same. Or Bouchard rather has a goal and an assist. Clear off the draw by the Oilers out of their own end. Miller attacking the Edmonton line, defended by Nurse, and he's pulled down from behind. This will be a penalty against Edmonton. Cross ice, Pius Suter. He'll get it back from Zadorov. Suter with the Canucks trailing 3-1. Zadorov to Hughes, 2.5 minutes to play. Late second period, extra attacker on, so 6-on-5 for Vancouver. Miller, beautiful look for Zadorov. No shot. Hughes will give it back to Zadorov. Miller calling for it. Left wing to Suter. And he bobbled the puck and allowed Edmonton to get a touch. McLeod was the man who touched the puck. Derek Ryan will be the man who goes to the box with 2:16 remaining in the second period.
That's one of their good penalty killers, too.
Especially on potential draws. Vancouver.
So they keep Carrick on the ice here.
3 for 18 on the power play. Well, you'd think that's one of the reasons he's in the game tonight.
It's a left side draw, so it's going to be Janmark. Looks like Janmark and RNH, but RNH struggled in the face-off series. Face-offs in the playoffs, Jack.
Ekholm and Desharnais, the other.
Ryan's only at 32%.
Nap Auto Parts penalty killers. And Lindholm has been very strong for Vancouver. So Lindholm against Nugent-Hopkins to Skinner's left, and the puck went off a body right to Ekholm, and he'll laser it down the left-hand side. Canucks power play has only helped them in one game in this Stanley Cup playoffs, and that was in this building, Game 3.
Got a massive kill, 5-on-3, John.
Left-hand side, Miller down low. Pettersson tried to keep it moving for Besser. Was denied in that endeavor. Janmark and Desharnais able to pin it in the far corner with help from Ekholm. 5 players in a pretty tight radius. Edmonton 3, Vancouver 1. 100 seconds left. Second period, Game 6. Canucks lead the series 3-2. Hughes to Miller. Shot. Blocker save made by Skinner. Rebound to Pettersson. Knew Desharnais was coming. Reverse hit on him. Ekholm shook it free and was cleared through Hughes. Good work by Nugent-Hopkins, who came down low with support. Minute 20 to play in the period. Hughes to Lindholm. Canucks left to right. Backhanded in deep. Too many men against Edmonton this time.
Man, oh man.
And the Oilers will be down 2 men for a full minute. 56 seconds to be exact. The Canucks will have a golden opportunity to cut the lead to 1.
That happened because Derek Ryan's normally the partner with the Oilers. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins went off. Janmark had stayed on, and 2 forwards went on the ice, and the Oilers got caught. Dreisaitl's going to probably have to, it's going to be RNH back out there. Surprises me a little bit.
And a timeout has been taken by Rick Tocchet, I believe.
Yeah.
So the Canucks, recognizing the importance of this power play, you convert it, Bob, especially if you're able to convert it within 56 seconds. You get it down to 3-2, and you have a fresh sheet of ice to start the third period.
Massive swing here, Jack. Oilers with a great power play go 0 for so far in this game, 0 for 3, including not capitalizing on about a minute of their own 5-on-3 time.
And now,
I'm surprised they're using RNH to take the draw here.
Well, he did okay on the last one in his own end, but this is a right side draw.
Yeah. That's just an unforced error for Edmonton.
So Nugent-Hopkins with Desharnais and Ekholm. Nugent-Hopkins against JT Miller, who will try to pull it back to Hughes, but Nugent-Hopkins won the faceoff. Ekholm sends it around. Good work by Nugent-Hopkins on a pair of draws on the kill here. 5-on-3, Pettersson shoots it in. Minute to go in the period. Canucks will have a 2-man for basically the remainder of the period. Hughes steps up, moves it. Miller, cross ice. Pettersson took his eye off it. Guided it over to Besser. And now Miller. Hughes in the high slot, steps up, moves it back to Miller. Down low to Lindholm. Curls back to the face-off dot. Hughes shoots off the blocker of Skinner, and the rebound hopped off the plexi and out of play. 36 seconds to go in the period, and 20 seconds left in the 5-on-3. The Vancouver power play, which was solid during the regular season, wobbled a bit down the stretch and has not been very good in the postseason. The Canucks need a conversion here, because now the momentum would flip back the other way to Edmonton.
Got to get through at least the next 20 seconds if you're Edmonton.
Miller. Face off against Nugent-Hopkins. Again, the Skinner's right. This time Miller wins the draw. Pedersen waved it back instead of shooting. Now gets it from Hughes. Hughes, top of the circles, gets it back from Miller, one-timer wide. Hughes scored 17 during the regular season. And then Pedersen, a brief mishandle. Over to Miller. Slapped it in front. Lindholm couldn't get it on net. Nugent-Hopkins has Derek Ryan out of the box and just missed him. That would have been a breakaway. Ryan will catch up to it in the corner, get around Quinn Hughes, spin, and try to center. He had Janmark all alone in the slot. Janmark came over, snatched the puck away. Time is run out in the second period. The Canucks do not convert. They'll get a fresh sheet of ice and have 48 seconds to get on the board by way of the power play to begin the third period. But they're 3 for 19 in the series, and that kind of offsets Edmonton's own missed opportunity 5-on-3 with a chance to potentially put the game away, already leading 3-1 on the strength of 3 5-on-5 goals in this hockey game. Bouchard with a goal and an assist. Hyman is league leading 10th. Dylan Holloway, his first goal since the LA series, and it all adds up to a 3-1 Oiler lead, and Vancouver 9 shots in 40 minutes. Edmonton stifling defensively.
Absolutely, especially when you factor in that the Edmonton Oilers have been shorthanded 4 times in this game. That's impressive, including over a minute at 5-on-3. Missed opportunity for Edmonton on their own 5-on-3. Great kill on the Vancouver 5-on-3. Need to find a way to get through the next minute and then get back to pushing the pace and forcing the play against Vancouver.
Do you learn something from game 1? Cody Ceci told me he thought the Oilers sat back a bit. Now, in game 4, they let a 2-0 lead get away, and Vancouver nearly forced overtime.
And if you're Rick Tocchet, and the one thing Tocchet's got here, he's got belief with his team, right? He has to. Look how they came back against Nashville to bail himself out of that game. He's got guys playing outside their comfort zone for the most part. Guy's a great coach. This game's far from over, but Edmonton needs a good kill to start the third.
Edmonton trailing the series 3-2. Vancouver has not lost back-to-back games since late March. But in order to give the Canucks an opportunity to lose back-to-back games, you've got to win a hockey game if you're Edmonton. They're 20 minutes away from doing exactly that. A 3-1 lead in Game 6. They'll be shorthanded for the first 48 seconds of the third period. But Edmonton has put itself in a position to create a Game 7, which again would be Monday night in Vancouver, and that would be a 7 Mountain starting time right here on 630 CHED and the Oilers Radio Network, which, by the way, of course, has Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown anxiously standing by with their thoughts on the opening 40. Edmonton has never trailed in Game 6, and the Oilers lead 3-1 through 2 periods. 20 minutes left to create a Game 7. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs, Game 6 of the Western Conference Semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
CHED Edmonton. Get your tech on and tell your smart speaker to play 630 CHED. Edmonton's news. Today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
It's our YEG with 630 CHED.
You're invited to the Winspear Center for an unforgettable evening of music with the Cosmopolitan Music Society's 60th anniversary season finale on June 9th. Tickets at cosmopolitanmusic.org. Then huddle up for a football frenzy as the 2024 U20 World Junior Football Championships hit the field at Commonwealth Stadium June 20th through the 30th. Tickets at worldjuniorfootballchampionships.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Ran by Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid back to Bouchard. Slap shot. Score! 3-1 Edmonton. Evan Bouchard drills home his 5th of the playoffs, and the Oilers are up
Bouchard going nuclear on that shot, right inside the post and in, takes into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner zone. So 3-1 for the Oilers after 2. Rob, Hyman scored earlier in the period. Oilers outshot the Canucks 14-5 in the period.
Well, the Oilers were the better team by far, and the Canucks were under stress in their own zone for the majority of the period. On the Hyman goal, Sheeloffs had already made a great save on Hyman just earlier, and then Hyman gets it again right in front of the net, and the Vancouver Canucks, who have not given up the slot shots this series. Everything's been contested. Hyman kind of fumbled the puck when he got it, and Besser kind of did a flyby and allowed Hyman to get control of the puck, and when he got control of it, he just ripped it on net. Sheeloff got a piece of it, but the puck had just enough momentum to go forward. When you control a period, when you dominate a period, you want to make sure you are rewarded for that play. The Edmonton Oilers certainly were, scoring the 2 goals. But if the Vancouver Canucks come back in this game in the third period, and not with 5 shots a period, it's highly unlikely. But if they are, the Edmonton Oilers power play is going to be very disappointed in not extending the lead.
Yeah, another offer on the power play for the Oilers to this point. They had a 55-second 2-man advantage. They couldn't extend the lead. Then later in the period, Vancouver gets a 56-second 2-man advantage. They can't score. The tail end of the 5-on-4 will be for 48 seconds at the start of the third. But Rob, the Oilers, and I know Vancouver has a 4-1 comeback in this series, so it's never over. But I've been saying it, why do the Canucks win? And I've said, I know this sounds kind of silly, but I say because they don't lose. But what I mean is they survive. They find a way to stay in the game. And in that period, well, they're outplayed, but they're still within striking distance because they just went to work on the PK and would not relent.
100%. The Oilers 5-on-3, you consider it an automatic, and then you're thinking, if we score early on the 5-on-3, we can extend it to, 4-1 or 5-1. The Canucks did a really good job killing, gave themselves a chance, and it was funny. Garland was the guy that comes out of the penalty box. He doesn't penalty kill, but he got stuck out there for the final minute of the penalty kill and did a pretty good job. So the Canucks did all those good things to give themselves a chance, but then their power play let them down. You have a 5-on-3 in a game. You just killed off a 5-on-3 against. You've given yourself an opportunity. They lost 2 faceoffs. The Canucks did. Great job by Nugent-Hopkins winning those, and they got twice. They got it outside the blue line, and that just wasted too much time. So the Oilers penalty killing, which has been fantastic all playoffs long. That was a great kill on the 5-on-3. Now they just got to survive 48 seconds more, as I believe this will be the first 5-6 minutes of this period will be the Vancouver Canucks push.
Well, yeah, and the power play carrying over. You've mentioned the shots. It's 18-9 for the game, so most of the play, in that second period, in the Vancouver end. So the Oilers got to try to finish this one off. We have seen, and Knobloch mentioned illness this morning. He didn't mention any players, but we have seen Matthias Ekholm miss morning skates when all his teammates have been on the ice. We heard him talk after the last game, and we have seen him spelled off by Darnell Nurse on some shifts. Nurse has been out there 5-on-5 with Bouchard a couple times instead of Ekholm.
Well, I mean, it's funny. If I'm the Oilers, I don't let him do interviews. Because as soon as he did the interview with us the other night, we're like, ooh, he doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
Last game in Vancouver, he changed with 30 seconds to go in the game, and that's where the Canucks scored their game-winning goal. You just don't see that from Matthias Ekholm. He's the one you want on the ice. So he's fighting something. A couple more days of rest before Game 7 would be pretty good for him. So the Oilers got to survive this final 20 minutes, but this was a much better effort tonight by the Edmonton Oilers. I think physically they're much more engaged in this game. They're pushing the pace. And in that period, you just saw what we've seen a couple times in this series where the Oilers just imposed their will on the Canucks. And the Canucks this period looked slow. We saw last game where in Vancouver, the Oilers looked slow. In that period, it was the Canucks that looked slow. Edmonton Oilers are 20 minutes away from forcing Game 7, but they're going to have a good 20 because the one thing that we've seen about this Vancouver Canucks team, and you mentioned it, they do not give up.
Yeah, I think it's very tense around oil country, in and out of this building, wherever the fan furthest away from this building is, and we know they're all over the world, Rob.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of tension there, but it starts with hard work on the PK and then going to work. And McDavid has a couple of points, but again, I'm impressed with how the Canucks have defended him. I mean, they've really forced him wide. You saw them come up when he had the puck at the blue line. Two guys went out at him and forced him. I know that's risky because the good players can often find the open guy, but in that case, they knocked the pass and were able to clear it. They clearly, and you have to have, but it's easier said than done, they got a game plan for McDavid.
Well, yes. The thing is, with Connor McDavid, you could have the best game plan ever, and he still finds ways to hurt you. I think this is the most noticeable Connor has been since Game 2 of the series. I think he's had a very strong game, creating for his line mates. The Hyman goal, that was the second time that he set Hyman up in that shift. The Oilers needed a big game out of Connor McDavid. They're getting it. The Vancouver Canucks tonight don't have the answer because they're not able to get Miller out against him every shift, and that's proved to be some mismatches at times for Connor and his line mates. It's been a very good 40 minutes for the Edmonton Oilers. What they need to do is put together a full 60.
All right. So it was Holloway and Hoglander in the first, Hyman and Bouchard in the second period. Oilers 3, Vancouver 1 in Game 6. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Live sky high with remarkable units for rent and for sale at Sky Signature Suites. Currently offering amazing incentives on 1- and 2-bedroom rentals featuring designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. All of this and more within the heart of Ice District, Edmonton's best address for shopping, dining, entertainment, and fun. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. There was an awful lot of autograph signing and fist bumping going on at Clark Stadium today as the Edmonton Elks held their fan day for kids and adults alike. Donna Perdue was decked out in her Elks fan gear, hoping for better days.
I think our fan base has taken a hit in the last little while, and I think things like this help bring the fans back into the stadium.
And a 50th anniversary celebration has begun for Fort Edmonton Park, which opened its gates for the season this morning with a theme of bringing history to life. Edmonton Mayor Amarjeet Sohi was on hand, saying he's a longtime fan of the park.
Work with various agencies and officials and governments to bring more life and infrastructure into this place, including the Indigenous Peoples Pavilion, where you can immerse in the history of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities and the settlers.
The next major project will bring the iconic train station by the front entry back to life. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Think you can't go back to school because you have a family or a full-time job? Yes, you can! Northern Lakes College provides a supported distance learning environment, offering a guided learning setting that supports you to succeed and provides the flexibility to suit your lifestyle. Explore programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. The education you want, the flexibility you deserve. NorthernLakesCollege.ca.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Here's Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid, rolls up. Hyman in his feet, shoots, save, rebound, score! It hopped through Shelovs and just over the stick of Susie, and Zach Hyman muscles home his 10th of the postseason. 2-1 Edmonton in Game 6.
3-1 as the Oilers scored twice in the second period. As we check the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. NBA playoffs tonight, 7:40 left in the fourth. Thunder leading the Mavericks 97-92. Thunder trying to get a win on the road and take it back home for Game 7. Blue Jays fell 5-4 to Tampa Bay today. Golf PGA Championship in Kentucky. Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele tied for the lead at 15 under. Sahith Theegala at 14 under. Shane Lowry shot a 62. He's one of three golfers at 13 under. All right, the Oilers shorthanded to start the third period. They hold a 3-1 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. Jack and Bob coming up. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, Vancouver has rallied to win 5 of their 7 playoff victories to this point. So the Oilers aren't home free, but they are 20 minutes away from creating the need for a Game 7 in this Western Conference semifinal, where Vancouver leads 3-2, but the Oilers lead Game 6 3-1. 20 minutes to play. Vancouver on a power play for the first 48 seconds of the third. Nugent-Hopkins and Derek Ryan, Vinny Desharnais, and Matthias Ekholm out there, and off the face-off, it's carved out by Derek Ryan and forced deep into the Vancouver zone. We're underway, third period, and the Canucks, mostly woeful power play, trying to break through. Sent in deep, Skinner played it to the corner, and Ekholm, a hard reverse that's held in by Lindholm. Brock Besser, cross ice, deflected, and Well handled by Pedersen to keep the zone. Thrust around the boards, picked up by Quinn Hughes in the left corner. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you. Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. 8th floor, Rogers Place. Ekholm, an attempted clear. Great cleat by Besser, but taken away by Nugent-Hopkins and sifted out of play. That doesn't hurt Edmonton that much because the faceoff comes out to center with just 4 seconds left on the man advantage.
Kind of looked like one of your drives. Or my putter.
Well, that was actually down the middle.
Or my putter.
I was going to say, it wouldn't have been one of my drives down the middle. Maybe you're putting. Off the draw, Soucy to Teddy Bluger. Now, if it had hooked dead left into the Canucks bench, you might have a point. Garland to the middle, intercepted by Hyman, and the Oilers now back in full strength. Draisaitl, Hyman, McDavid, who did not handle that pass from Draisaitl cleanly, threw it around the boards to Leon Draisaitl, coming off the right half wall. They'll give it up for Evan Bouchard, who has a goal and an assist in this game. McDavid, 2 helpers. Dylan Holloway opened the game scoring, and Zach Hyman has tacked on his league-leading 10th of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Bouchard and Ekholm trade the puck in their own zone. Check it. That's Kulak, who receives from Bouchard. Drives one up the left-hand side that's guided in by Evander Kane. Shelov's hard up the left-hand glass and out back towards center.
Handles the puck well. That was a good play.
Ceci to Nurse, and that sails into the Oiler bench. 18-17 to go in the third, and it's Edmonton 3, Vancouver 1. In case you're wondering what Game 7 might look like, of course, the Oilers presumably would stick with the same lineup. Vancouver would have a couple of decisions to make, including potentially in net, though I'm told Demko not as close as maybe some of those surrounding the Canucks would have you believe.
Well, I hope for our case we find out.
Draisaitl. The face-off against J.T. Miller to the left of Stuart Skinner.
Would love to go to Vancouver for Game 7, Jack.
The Oilers need to negotiate 18 more minutes. Here's Roenick, a shot deflected wide of Skinner, and the rebound gobbled up by Miller. He tried to center, that was behind Pedersen, and Kane smartly cleared, creating a 2-on-1. Draisaitl and Holloway. Draisaitl shoots! Shelov's! Is it behind him? He gave ground and slid backward across the goal line. It depends where the puck was. For now, they're saying no goal. But this one may be looked at further. Shelov's gave a lot of ground, and I didn't see anything off the initial replay that would indicate otherwise.
He fought that one off. Leon made the right call there.
Boy, that was tight. I'm surprised they're not giving this a second look, just to make sure. If it's lodged under the right pad, no problem. It's not that close. But if it dribbled through, it would have been pretty close. Face-off, one back, and a shot sent wide. Ryan misfired on a rebound effort, and then a great play by Fogle taken away from Garland. Ian Cole looking for an outlet. He's had a tough series. Eventually bumped back into his own zone by Joshua. Zadorov will start again. This time with his ability to headman the puck to Garland, and then when he tried to fire it in, it caught the curved glass, and that'll bring the face-off right back to center with 2.5 minutes having elapsed here in the third period. And the Oilers having once again throttled Vancouver's power play. Now, Edmonton is 0 for 8 over the last 2 games on the power play, it must be stated. But so is Vancouver. And that's, again, the Oiler penalty kill, in my mind, has been just as relevant in Edmonton's success in this latest Stanley Cup playoff run as its power play. I know the power play gets all the headlines, but the penalty kill is over 90%. Lindholm won the draw from Carrick.
Fourth line against the Vancouver second line here, Jack.
Drop off by Shelov's. But we saw that executed in Game 5. The fourth line didn't lose the Oilers that game. They were outplayed by the other 3 units. Here's Pedersen driving in right-hand side. Threw it around the boards, but no one was home. Roenick and Hughes, the deep pairing out. It's Hughes who eventually catches up to the puck. Carrick got a healthy piece of Shelov's, but it was ruled that he was ridden into the Vancouver goaltender. And both teams want to make wholesale changes in personnel again. Up the right-hand side, Garland for Vancouver. Over the line with a drive and a save, Skinner, and he'll freeze it with 3:07 gone by in this third period, and Edmonton still holding a 3-1 lead. That's Vancouver's first shot of the period. Skinner has made 9 saves tonight.
Dakota Joshua following up a net drive there from Teddy Bluger after a long drive from Connor Garland, who let one rip my blocker. And the Oilers' Stuart Skinner.
Garland, the game winner in game 1 of this series. Face off to Skinner's left. Vancouver has won games 1, 3, and 5. The Oilers with victories in games 2, 4, and trying to make it 6. Lofted up ice off the draw by Ekholm in the general direction of Hyman. Cleared back by the Canucks through the neutral zone. Bluger stymied by Bouchard. Up the right-hand side, McDavid already with 2 assists tonight. Trying to center, tipped home! Nugent-Hopkins finishes! Edmonton extends to a 4-1 lead!
Jack, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, when it was 4-2 in Vancouver in a 4-4 situation, reversed European short side pass from Ryan McLeod. He hits the goalpost. Doesn't give Edmonton the third goal separation. Canucks battle back. That time, Nuge drives the net and picks up his 3rd point of the night. So does Connor McDavid. It's a 3-goal Edmonton lead.
3 assists for McDavid, a goal and 2 helpers for Nugent-Hopkins. He had a big moment in game 4 of this series at home, giving Edmonton a 2-0 lead. And that's further insurance. Now 4-1 with 16 and a half to go. Nugent-Hopkins with his 13th career Stanley Cup playoff goal. Janmark breaks loose left-hand side. Defended by Oman. Brown in a festive mood. Nurse a shot, sharp angle, and that sailed wide. Rebound hammered down low by Ceci. Carrick checked hard behind the net by Ian Cole. Shook it off, got it to Connor Brown. Ceci from Nurse. Fired on net, and a save made by Shelovs with 15:56 remaining in a game where Edmonton has outshot Vancouver 21-10. Bouchard also a 3-point night. So Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins with a goal and 2 assists. McDavid 3 apples, and now he's up to 96 points in this, his 60th career playoff game. And he continues that trend. 30 points in 14 games following a contest where he was held off the score sheet. Bounce back ability, you better believe it. Off the face-off, Hughes. Left-hand side for Suter. Gained the line. Driving the net, Brock Besser. Trying to make a game of it for Vancouver. The Canucks, you'd think, would have to score here in the next 3 minutes. Sent down low by Roenick. Besser and Suter can't maintain. Guided to Draisaitl by Holloway. Evander Kane hits the trailer. Ceci tried to direct over to Holloway. Was calling for that puck. Vancouver able to angle it off the boards and out. Canucks played their best game of the series on Thursday night. Outshot the Oilers 35-23. The shots 35 were easily a playoff high. Tonight the Canucks have mustered 10. And here the Oilers whistled for an offside. 45 minutes played, and the Canucks have 10 shots on goal. And remember, through game 4, Vancouver had mustered the fewest shots on net to begin a postseason in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You hear the crowd. 15 minutes from game 7. McLeod wins the faceoff back to center, rifled in by Vinny Desharnais. The Oilers 1-1 in game 7s in the McDavid era. Losing game 7, second round 2017 against Anaheim. Winning game 7 against LA, went down 3-2 in the series, which was the case entering tonight back in 2022. Oilers trying to do now what they did then, and do it for the 4th time in franchise history. Desharnais to Nurse. Up the left-hand side, Nugent-Hopkins. Rink wide. Hyman won't catch up to it. Roenick does. Down the middle to Teddy Bluger. He'll fire it in. Stuart Skinner comes out to handle the puck. Up the left-hand side, Ekholm. Garland and Joshua collided. Edmonton with numbers left to right. Nugent-Hopkins tried to put it on McDavid's tape. Here's Hyman coming over to shovel it down low. Eventually shot wide by Ekholm from the left point. Held in by McDavid, right corner. He has 3 assists tonight. Nugent-Hopkins hearing it from the crowd. McDavid tucked it back along the inboards. Punishing hit laid by Nugent-Hopkins. Roenick to Hughes. Garland trying to muscle it outside. Hughes will take a skate, but Vancouver's hemmed in here. 13 and a half, remember. Hughes will bide his time, allow Vancouver to change. Edmonton rolls it over as well. Draisaitl, Kane, and Holloway back out. An outlet to Vasily Podkolzin. 4th line out for Vancouver. Podkolzin hasn't scored a goal all year. Out to Myers, his shot off a skate. Draisaitl busting down the middle. Partial breakaway, can't get a shot away. Taken off the puck and slid into the goalpost. Very late, Myers got back and might have disrupted. 13:07 left in regulation. Draisaitl slowly will rise. Edmonton rising up here in Game 6. A 4-1 lead. Looking to force a Game 7 for Monday night, 7 o'clock Mountain, live from Vancouver. We'll take time out. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1. This is Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes Olive Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Crowd on its feet. 13:07 to play. Oilers have outplayed and outscored the Vancouver Canucks through nearly 50 minutes. But there's still 13 to go. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1. Shots are 21-10 in favor of the Oilers. Draisaitl neutral zone face-off. Slightly hobbled after going in and catching a goalpost in his upper thigh. Inner upper thigh. Connor Brown and Janmark are his line mates. Kulak and Ceci defensively. Carrick wins the face-off, and the Oiler fourth line pours in. Chipped up the left-hand side. Carrick back to Brown. And Hill directed behind Zadorov. After it, Matthias Janmark. Carrick back on the puck. Tried to shovel it down low. Brown. Adam Henrique still unable to go tonight. He's only played one game in this series. And it looked like he was dealing with an injury. Hard hit by Carrick in the corner on Oman. Still battling on the right side. Good shift turned in by the fourth line. Finally, Vancouver able to lob it off the boards and back to center, but the Canucks need a change. And Brett Kulak knows it, so he'll just play keep away and take a skate deep into his own zone. No reason to move with too much alacrity. Bouchard up the left-hand side, tossed in by Nugent-Hopkins, who has a goal and 2 assists tonight, as does Evan Bouchard. Quinn Hughes hustles it up the left-hand side. That was not touched by Suter, and Ekholm was back to draw the icing call against Vancouver. And now 11:53 remain on the game clock.
Well, solid defensive performance so far from Edmonton in this game, Jack. We're 48 minutes in. They've given up 10 shots on goal.
And I mean, I would say Stuart Skinner has not had to make one 10-bell save all night. I'm not taking anything away from him, but this has been a terrific lockdown performance. McDavid wins the faceoff. Hyman hovering in the corner along with Nugent-Hopkins. Hyman behind the net tried to set up Nugent-Hopkins. They'll eventually gain control of the puck on the right side, but stripped by Hughes and cleared by Suter. Vancouver needs to get on track here. JT Miller kicks it back to Roenick. And quite frankly, Bob and I mentioned there were signs of Edmonton fatigue in Game 5. I would say the same about Vancouver here in Game 6. Canucks do not have much of a push going on right now. Pettersson will dump it in. Up the right-hand side, Desharnais. The desperation that marked their game in Game 5 at home, not there tonight in Game 6. And Ryan, guilty of an unforced error, icing right-hand boards.
But the one thing we've seen is Vancouver has been a team that has a sense of belief and they can build off emotion. And that's enabled them to rally multiple times in the playoffs.
I agree, Bob. I just haven't seen it yet in this third period, and they're running out of time. 11 minutes to go.
Big draw here in the
Now, it was at this point that down 4-2 in Game 1, they did rally.
They flipped the game right around. And really, did they flip the series right around?
Well, this series has had so many momentum shifts. I'm not sure one is carried over, and sure enough, the teams have alternated wins and losses. But if you're suggesting maybe if the Oilers get Game 1...
Maybe it's a different series?
Could be.
Maybe Edmonton's up 3-2.
But again, who knows? Maybe we're not giving Vancouver enough credit. Pettersson shoots it in from center. Easily set level for Darnell Nurse by the glove of Stuart Skinner. Desharnais to McLeod up the right-hand side. Ryan was tripped up. No icing will be called. Zadorov gathers and takes a glancing blow from Kane for his trouble. Ian Cole hits Zadorov around Draisaitl. Challenges Kulak. Tried to jam it into the middle. A bouncing puck. And Kane watches as Kulak takes over. Draisaitl skates through the neutral zone. Gives it up. Shot Holloway. And that was blocked in front by Ian Cole. Swatted away from Evander Kane. Got back into the play against Garland and allowed Draisaitl to give way for Holloway. Ceci to Draisaitl in over the line. Holloway right circle. Draisaitl sharp angle shot. That was blocked. Gets it back from Evander Kane. Beneath the goal line to Draisaitl. Toss back to Kane in the corner. Less than 10 minutes to play. Third period, Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1. 5 one-goal games in a row. Edmonton trying to change that. Here's Di Giuseppe with a backhander off the rush that sailed wide. Held in by Carson Soucy. Di Giuseppe against Desharnais. Shot Tyler Myers. That dribbled wide. Rebound Soucy. Put it behind the net through the wickets and kept alive by Besser. Now from up top, Miller steers down low to Di Giuseppe. On his backhand. He'll establish cycle for Besser. Out to Myers, who gives ground and allows it to exit the zone. Desharnais defending Hughes. Besser. Myers, shot tip save made by Skinner. Dangerous tip by Pius Suter. Myers to Hughes. Left circle.
Carrot can't get off the ice here, Jack. He's
Hughes over to Miller. Tried to center. Deflected high in the air. Desharnais defending against Suter down low. Hyman failed to get it clear. Hughes to Miller. Left circle. Wrist shot. And Skinner wisely holds on. That will allow Edmonton the benefit of a TV timeout. And a complete change. Oilers 4, Canucks 1, 8:32 to play in Game 6. Game 7, if necessary, Monday night in Vancouver. Edmonton looking to make certain it becomes necessary. We're back to Rogers Place in just a moment. This is Game 6, Western Conference semifinal, Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Shots are 22-13 Edmonton. 4-1 the score. This is Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinal. 50-50 jackpot approaching $2 million, benefiting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation and Food Banks of Alberta. Shot from the point off the draw, deflected wide of Stuart Skinner. Rebound to Quinn Hughes. Vancouver trying to manage a push here. Roenick to Hughes. Been a while since the Canucks have had this kind of sustained ozone time. Shot by Lindholm, sails wide, but from about 40 feet. Rebound Hoglander. He has the only Vancouver goal. Shot Pedersen and a save made by Skinner. That might have kissed the outside of the goalpost. Now Roenick a shot. That didn't make it through. Hughes, Roenick, left circle. Pedersen can't get a shot on net. Hoglander sneaks through a sliver. Shot curled wide by Lindholm from the right circle. Hughes, high slot Roenick shot. Blocked in front. Edmonton a chance to clear. And it's going to be walked out. Janmark will shovel it on to McDavid, who soccers it in deep. 7.5 to play, third period. Roenick to Hughes. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1. McDavid assists on 3 of the 4 goals. Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins with a goal and 2 assists. Zach Hyman with his league-leading 10th of the postseason. McLeod to Bouchard. In over the Vancouver line, left to right. Sends it trickling behind the net. And off the back of the goal, eventually it's Bluger up to Dakota Joshua. But he's smothered by first McLeod and then Fogle. Escaping with a pass to Zadorov. Ian Cole wires it too much on it. And that's an icing call against Cole. The beleaguered veteran has had a tough series. And here his icing creates an offensive zone face-off for Edmonton with 7 minutes to go in Game 6. And the Oilers' 4-1 lead means there could be a Game 7 Monday night in Vancouver. We'd have it for you at 7 Mountain Time on the Oilers Radio Network. Draisaitl lining up.
Play the game in their zone, Jack.
Face-off, Miller against Draisaitl. Right off the draw, buried Evander Kane, and it could be lights out. Right off the draw, Kane blisters it past Shilov's 5-1 Edmonton, and there will be a Game 7 Monday night in Vancouver.
First goal the Oilers have scored off an ozone face-off win and even strengthened this series. High glove Archer Sheloffs from Evander Kane. That is a wicked wrister.
Kane from Draisaitl, time 13:04. No one moved for Vancouver. Kane put it upstairs. And Edmonton in complete command. Off the face-off. Shoveled in by Sam Carrick. Sheloffs to handle it. Up the left-hand side, Carrick. Put it behind the net. Well, the Oilers have gotten to the Canucks. They've gotten to Sheloffs for the first time since the first 40 minutes of Game 1. A dump in, Skinner mishandles, wide open in front. A wrist shot denied. Skinner, big save on Podkolzin. Draisaitl with his second helper of the night. Kane goals in back-to-back games and 4 in the playoffs. And that's 100 points in the Stanley Cup playoffs for Leon Draisaitl.
Third fastest man in NHL history. Not bad, John.
Gretzky, Lemieux, Draisaitl, 100 points in 60 games. Nurse and Desharnais work the puck in their own end. A lot of trends broken tonight. McDavid head-to-head against Miller, getting his first 2 5-on-5 goals of the series. A hard rink-wide feed intended for Hughes. Hit McDavid in the side of the helmet, right-hand side. He's okay. Oilers defend in their own zone. CC in the corner. Puck stapled along the boards, tugged free by Besser. Suter and Besser. McDavid trying to peel it out of there. Finally did for Nugent-Hopkins. Suter set it up. Roenick over to Hughes. He'll wind it down low. Poked free by Ceci with 5:10 to go. Roenick shot. Doesn't make it through and on net. Besser fires a pass back to Roenick. Right side, given back to Roenick. Backing off, Besser shovels it over. One-timer to save Skinner. Sneaking back door was Roenick. Skinner, a couple of good saves on this shift, keeping Edmonton's 5-1 lead intact. Game 7, Monday night, Vancouver, 7 Mountain Time. Ceci hoists down deep, on net. Sheloff's forced to play it. Left for Cole by Zadorov. Up the right-hand side, out of the reach of Podkolzin. A slapper by Nurse on net. A save by Sheloffs, and a second one on Kane. Finally rammed off the boards and out.
Kane's hitting
by
everything
Vancouver's Di Giuseppe. Nurse up the left-hand side. Holloway crosses to Draisaitl. Draisaitl, a little reverse pop on Di Giuseppe. Crowd urging the Oilers on and helping carry Edmonton into a Game 7. Di Giuseppe to Bluger. His centering pass to Garland tipped away. Garland, to his credit, stays with it for Soucy. Back around the boards. Tyler Myers going to be backing off. Fogle trying to beat him to the inside, and Myers took it away, but coughed it up. Derek Ryan down low. Fogle backdoor, and McLeod missed a tap in. He's still not on the score sheet in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sheloffs eventually shoveled ahead for Soucy.
Might not see a lot of
Garland will dump it in.
Might not see a lot of Ekholm here, Jack. Final 5 minutes of this game with a 4-goal lead.
3:20 to go in the third period. A dump in, Roenick. Well, because you have a 4-goal lead, you can roll your lines. Trying to shovel it in front. Carrick for Connor Brown. And the fourth line is out there right now. Carrick, Brown, and Janmark. Carrick has the puck pinned in the far corner. Janmark tried to feed the point. Crowd refuses to abandon the Let's Go Oilers chant. Well, they're going to see him go into a Game 7 Monday night. Lindholm hits the line. Hoglander, the only man to beat Stuart Skinner tonight. Canucks limited to just 17 shots. And their hopes to polish the Oilers off early are not going to come to fruition. McLeod out there with Kane and Holloway. David and Draisaitl might be sitting on the pine for the remainder. Here's Kane's shot from the left wing, and that's stopped by Sheloffs. Rebound Kane to Kulak. 5-1 Edmonton in Game 6. 2:10 to go. And continuing a Rogers Place Stanley Cup playoff tradition, Bob and I will let the crowd tell you what happened tonight in Game 6 over the final minute. Holloway to Fogle. Now we got to wrap up Kane and Zadorov. Kind of a wrestling match in the corner. And they'll be pried apart by the two linesmen with 1:51 to play in the third. But Edmonton has already salted this game away. Shot totals are 29-16. And the coup de grace was Kane scoring off the draw, won by Draisaitl. Now Desharnais has two Canucks in a headlock. Oman and Podkolzin. And when you're 6'7" and have that pterodactyl-like wingspan, it's not really as hard as it sounds. Canucks fans shown on the Jumbotron filing out. They'll hope for a better result Monday night. The Oilers, as they did 7 years ago, have made Game 6 no contest. 5-1, and now some more pushing and shoving, but ultimately this won't result in much other than the game dragging out a bit further and the Oiler fans being allowed to celebrate a bit further. Monday night, Game 7. I imagine Edmonton will keep the same lineup, Bob. Is it too early to consider what Rick Tocchet might do?
I don't know how much Tocchett's going to deviate. I think the one question's I'm going to trust your instincts on Demko.
Well, would you chuck him into a Game 7 if he was ready?
And number 92. An Edmonton penalty, number 91 and number 73. All four guys, 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah, they're out of the game. This is just game managing at this point. So, no harm, no foul on either side in terms of personnel.
Well, Zadorov and Kane were going at it all shift. And Zadorov knew what he was doing. He was going for the takedown right away. Kane was trying to get him in a position to throw punches. Zadorov's a huge, hulking man.
I'm not so sure about that, Bob, and here's why. Because Evander Kane is mindful of what happened in Game 5, Game 4 against Las Vegas last year.
In terms of Darnell Nurse, well, there'd be no instigator in that situation. They were both.
Well, Bob, you didn't think there'd be one in that game either. Nurse got the instigator.
But Nurse came in from the blue line to engage Haig. That was a battle. They went at each other 3 times. There's nothing wrong with that play either way. That was a 50-50 battle.
I'm just saying the Oilers, I think, are mindful of that.
They got to play smart.
You learn lessons. You don't want to even give the officials a notion.
But you're 100%. I'd be stunned if we see McDavid or Draisaitl here in the final minute 51.
5-1 Edmonton. In case you're just joining us, it was 1-1 after one. Holloway opened the game scoring, and Hoglander tied it.
You might see Carrick.
Hyman and Bouchard then scored in the second period to make it 3-1, and Nugent-Hopkins and Kane to put the game away with goals here in the third.
I don't think, Jack, you'll see Susie for Vancouver in the final 2 minutes here.
Sam Carrick will take the draw. Well, why wouldn't you see Carrick? I mean, you might as well play your third and fourth lines. You've got the game away. Carrick wins the draw. Ceci will snap it in. And like Game 5, the third and fourth lines haven't hurt you. Ceci.
Well, tonight the first and second lines dominated, Jack.
Suter up the right-hand side. Well, that was the difference. You got enough supplemental support in Game 5. What you didn't get is big games from the top 6. Tonight, you've gotten them. Nugent-Hopkins, a goal and 2 assists. McDavid, 3 assists. Draisaitl, 2 assists. And Zach Hyman, a goal. Nurse. Ceci. Ryan McLeod, middle of the ice. Final minute 10. 5-1 Edmonton in Game 6. Game 7 Monday night. We'll have it for you. It'll be a 7 Mountain Time start. And here we go with the final minute at Rogers Place. 5-1 Oilers. Joshua stripped. Holloway brings it to center and dumps it in. Canucks will just keep it in their own end. City like it. Not in the National Hockey League. Will not get the horn. Game 7 Monday night. Vancouver 27-15 and effectively choking the life out of any Vancouver counterattack following the 2 5-on-5 goals in the second period. We talked about how Miller had not been scored upon head-to-head against McDavid in 5-on-5 play in the first 5 games of this series. Tonight, there were 2 goals in the second period. Both came with McDavid and Miller on, and that proved decisive. Nugent-Hopkins and Kane put it away with third period goals, and the Oilers cruise home 5-1. Game 7 Monday night. We'll have it for you 7 Mountain Time right here on 630 CHED and the Oilers Radio Network. The Oilers outshot the Canucks by a count of 23-11 over the final 2 periods. 27-15 for the game. 15 shots against, which ties an Oiler club record, I believe, for a playoff game. 15 shots against, I believe, ties them for a club record. Reed Wilkins might have clarification for us on that at some point during our post-game show. But it's no contest tonight in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinal. And the winner Monday night to advance against the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference final. If it's the Oilers, it'll be their second appearance in the conference final in the last 3 years. If it's the Canucks, it'll be their first conference final appearance since 2011, when they ended up losing the Stanley Cup in 7 games, the 7th game being on home ice against the Boston Bruins. And for the Oilers, that's their objective. Winning Game 7 at the home of the Vancouver Canucks, who've lost a couple of Game 7s in their own building in the Stanley Cup playoffs, went ahead in the series. It was 3-2, Vancouver coming in. Well, the Oilers have evened the series, and they do so emphatically. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, our first star of the game, will join us shortly. He had a goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, again, maybe the best performance all year from the Edmonton Oilers. They brought it tonight, no question about it. I think we're good to go right away here with RNH momentarily.
Edmonton, 5-1 final over Vancouver. The Oilers have won games 2, 4, and 6. The Canucks 1, 3, and 5, and we'll decide it Monday night. Here's Brendan Escott with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Well, you get to Game 7 here, the second round, Ryan, further than the team got last year. And I wonder what you were drawing on from that experience, if anything, that allowed you to emerge victorious in this Game 6.
I mean, keep the foot down. We've seen it all series. Can't give them any life. I thought we had another good start tonight. It's just about keeping the foot down and not letting them breathe at all.
Well, it seemed like they rarely got a chance to get started in that game. 15 shots against. I wonder what you were doing to find that kind of success in limiting their approach.
I mean, our forecheck all night, all 5 guys. We put pucks down. We're a fast team. I mean, we want to make it hard on their D going back. And when Stu had to, he made some big saves. But it comes down to putting the puck in the right place and just using our speed.
Got to be the first team to win back-to-back games in this series if you're going to advance. What's required for that to happen on Monday night?
I mean, like I said, good start, but no momentum shifts. I mean, we want to play simple game. We know the recipe. It's just about sticking to it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Guys?
Well, the Oilers have already changed one pattern in this series, and that's the series of 5 consecutive one-goal games to start this series. 12, I'm told by Reed Wilkins, is the official shots on goal against club record. So that'll have to wait for another game. But, Bob, I think your point is valid. Vancouver played its best game of the series in Game 5. Edmonton has countered with its. And rather than go all through the season, I'm just going to say conservatively, it's their best game of the series tonight in Game 6. And now we'll see who brings their best game in the winner-take-all Game 7 with Dallas waiting for them in the Western Conference Final.
We know this. Vancouver's got a great coach. And that coaching staff has been able to swing momentum back early in games. Think of Game 3 in Edmonton when Ekholm got belted by Lindholm and then Joshua back-to-back. They came out and knocked the snot out of the Oilers early in that game. And then Shelov's made some terrific saves. I think what I like the most about tonight, Jack, the Oilers have been called power play merchants. Well, their power play didn't score on a 5-on-3. They went 0 for 3 at the extra man. But their penalty killing has been unbelievable. 5 even-strength goals tonight from the Edmonton Oilers. And they routed the Canucks, Jack. They almost doubled them up in shots. I haven't looked at the A-grade scoring opportunities yet from natural stat trick. It's not going to be close. Edmonton was infinitely the better team. But we haven't seen any momentum go from one game to the next game.
Even though Edmonton's gotten the first goal in each of those games you're talking about, the Oilers have gotten the first goal in their 3 losses in this series, and it hasn't, or they've led in those 3 losses. So I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins made a salient point when he said, hey, we'll get the first goal. That's great. But then we've got to keep that momentum flowing. And, you know, the Canucks have been able to withstand that first goal in each of their 3 wins in the series. The Oilers have gotten the first goal in 5 of the 6 games of this series. So I think Nugent-Hopkins, his point about Game 7, he's already thinking about that. Like, hey, we get on top. It's got to be step on the throat
Jack,
time.
We knew that this could be a very difficult season. The Vancouver Canucks finished 5 points ahead of the Edmonton Oilers in the overall standings. Edmonton did have the best record in the NHL under Chris Knobloch. They were over 700 points percentage under Chris Knobloch. But Rick Tocchet's done a tremendous job. Obviously, Skinner, I don't know how, I mean, I don't know how much work he actually got tonight, but he was solid when he was in there. I liked what Carrick brought. Carrick brought a little bit. First of all, it brought another guy that can win a faceoff, a right shot guy. And the Oilers didn't get clobbered in the faceoff circle. One stat tonight, Jack, .933 save percentage for Stuart Skinner, .815 for Arturs Shelovs. To the Canucks, I mean, if your information is correct and Demko's not
They're not starting Casey DeSmith.
No way. So it's going to be Shelovs or it's going to be Demko. That'll be one of the stories. I think if you looked at the second and third goals that the Oilers scored, and granted, Bouchard can absolutely powder the pill. He's got as heavy a shot as there is in the league, and so...
Well, it's the Hyman goal you didn't love, although he was, like Besser, early in this series, was gifted with a lot of time in the slot.
Yeah.
And he powered one.
By the way, it was Besser that lost his man on that goal, and they pulled Besser. This is talking for you. Yep. They pulled Besser and moved Podkolzin up to that line for a couple shifts in the second period. Bottom line here, big night from Nugent-Hopkins, big night from McDavid, Hyman. Those guys all scored that line.
But for me, the story was, as we saw earlier in this season, when Calvin Pickard was starting to get his feet wet as the Oilers' number 2 goalie, how hard Edmonton played in front of Pickard. And that was during that, the initial 8-game winning streak, and then again when they reeled off 16 in a row. I thought, especially coming off a couple of tough performances, Edmonton insulated their goaltender tonight. They didn't protect him. Skinner didn't need to be protected, but I thought the Oilers played a sound defensive game in front of him, and as a result, he had a relatively easy night.
So who's the pressure on now in Game 7?
Well, I still think it's Edmonton because it was the Oilers that were the preseason Cup favorite. It was the Oilers who made the pronouncement that it's Cup or bust. And it was the Oilers that were the betting favorite entering this series against Vancouver. The Canucks are going to say anything beyond this is gravy. But let me tell you what, if you said it best, Rick Tocchet he's not thinking any of that. I still think the Canucks this season will not be termed a failure if they lose in Game 7 to Edmonton. For the Oilers, I think some of their top players, and certainly this market will feel that this would be a disappointing result if they don't advance.
Jack, I said to you...
what do you think?
Before Game 5, this will be Vancouver's best game. And we said before Game 6, this has to be Edmonton's best game.
And it was.
I expect a hell of a lot more out of the Canucks. I expect two teams going at it. And I think
what do you think? Pressure-wise, is it on one team or the other?
The only, I think it's half and half. If you're now the one that is for the Canucks, they hadn't had a home playoff game in 9 seasons before this year. You're right. It's
no one's going to call this season a failure in Vancouver if they lose Game 7.
No, but
they were up 3-2.
They're up 3-2, and think of the last time they were in that Game 7 back in. You're going back to 2011 and how quiet that building was. Rick's going to have them ready to go. You know that. McDavid, by the way, you mentioned 30 points in the 14 games after being held pointless this season, plus 14 of the year.
And most importantly, he's won 11 of those 14 games.
We're going to Vancouver. Let's get going here. Let's get going. Let's get to the post-game show.
I can hardly wait.
Neither can I.
Are you telling me what to do?
I've been trying to tell.
Only children don't like to be told what to do.
Yes, well, we've established you're an only child. 14. Hey, we're going to have to go at it again here before the end of the game, too. 14 seasons, eh? Here we go, Game 7.
Edmonton 5, Vancouver 1 in Game 6. Game 7 again will be played Monday night in Vancouver. We'll have it for you live from Rogers Arena, and that'll be 7 Mountain Time once again. The Oilers limit the Canucks to just 15 shots on net. Stuart Skinner, the win. He's now 6-3 in this postseason, 11-9 for his career. Evan Bouchard and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a goal and 2 assists. Zach Hyman, the game winner, and Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid combined for 5 assists. It all adds up to a resounding Edmonton 5-1 victory over Vancouver in Game 6. Artur Shilov stopped 22 of 27. Niels Hoglander was the only man to put the puck behind. Stuart Skinner was tied 1-1 after 1. Oilers led 3-1 after 2 and closed it out with 2 more in the third. 5-1 victory in Game 6. We can hardly wait for Game 7. Edmonton will be looking to win for the 4th time when trailing 3-2 in a best-of-7 series. We'll have it for you on Monday. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Game 6 at Rogers Place. Edmonton 5, Vancouver 1, Game 7, Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Cleared back by the Canucks through the neutral zone. Luger stymied by Bouchard. Up the right-hand side, McDavid already with 2 assists tonight. Trying to center, tipped home. Nugent-Hopkins finishes. Edmonton extends to a 4-1 lead.
That is the highlight zone for Centric Casino. All in, all games, all season. Centric Casino's 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. The Edmonton Oilers have defeated the Vancouver Canucks 5-1. We are headed to Game 7 in Vancouver Monday night. Series tied 3-3. You're listening to the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Face off to Skinner's left-hand side. Bluger will line up for the draw against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Joshua perched in the slot. Bluger wins the face-off. Here's a shot redirected and a dangerous save made by Skinner. That was a good stop on Joshua's redirection.
That's the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance. Alberta oil field and construction contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit AccessInsuranceGroup.com. We bring aboard our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. Rob, you said we know in the first 10 minutes. Did we know in the first 10 minutes?
I think we knew what kind of game the Oilers were bringing. You saw Leon Draisaitl was a man on a mission. He took a penalty, but the physicality he brought, it was like, okay, this is our night tonight. I'm going to lead physically, and the Oilers led physically in this game from top to bottom. I like the insertion of Carrick into the lineup.
6 hits.
Yeah, I mean, and was effective and abrasive. He brought more than we'd seen from Corey Perry, unfortunately, in the first number of games. The Oilers were on their game tonight. As much as the Vancouver Canucks controlled Game 5, it was the exact opposite here tonight. And at no point did you think that the Canucks were going to grab control of this hockey game. They were snuffed out offensively all night long. Stuart Skinner, until probably the last 4 or 5 minutes, really didn't have a whole lot of workload. Give credit to the Oilers players in front of them. It was a very sound hockey game played by the Edmonton Oilers that allows them to do it one more time on Monday night.
All right. Nicely done, Jack. Bob Stauffer with you, Rob Brown. All right, the big dogs delivered. No question about it, Rob.
Well, they did. The Fab Five tonight, Leon, Connor, Hyman, Nuge, and Bouchard, 12 points. They were quiet in Game 5. We know that you want contributions up and down your lineup, but at the end of the night, the Oilers win or lose based on how their best 5 players play, and they were fantastic tonight. Leon was great. Connor was great. I thought that was the best game that RNH played, possibly in the entire series. Hyman broke out again with a good shot on net and a goal. So the Oilers, to me, I don't believe any momentum is gained in this series with a win, and we've seen it thus far. They're going back and forth. But the one thing that the Oilers did do tonight is they put 5 past a goaltender that's been outstanding in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if that will affect him. None of us do, because we haven't seen this kid in this position before. But there were 5 goals, a couple scored from distance. Maybe that just puts a little bit of hesitation or doubt in his mind. I don't know, but we will see Monday night. But this is a game that the Edmonton Oilers said they're going to come out and play their best, and they did.
They did. Now they're going to get Vancouver's best, Rob.
Well, I think on Monday you're going to get both teams' best. I think that you're going to see a physical game. I think you're going to see a better game defensively from the Vancouver Canucks. And they're going to need a better game offensively. This is a game, 2 things happened in the second period. The Oilers could have put this game away on a 5-on-3 and didn't. And give credit to the Canucks penalty killers and goaltending on that. But the Vancouver Canucks, in a game that they were badly outplayed, had a chance at the end of the second period to put themselves back in it. They had a minute 5-on-3. First of all, give credit RNH, 2-1 draws, that they were able to clear the puck twice.
Unbelievable.
And then they just didn't give any good chances to the Canucks on that 5-on-3. To me, that was just the urgency and desperation by the Oilers tonight was at its highest that we've seen all playoff long. And we're just going to have to see it again in 48 hours, because Game 7, and I agree with, I heard you and Jack talking, there will be more pressure on the Edmonton Oilers in Game 7. The Canucks, winning in the first round was a successful year for the Vancouver Canucks.
Well,
anything but the Stanley Cup Finals would not be a successful year for the Oilers.
Don't tell Rick Tocchet that, Rob, because he's playing for keeps.
Oh, 100% he is, and so are the Canucks. Yeah. And to me, I can't wait. I wish Game 7 was tomorrow. There's a lot of people in Edmonton that are cheering on a Game 7. There's a lot of people in Dallas also, as they want these two teams to go the distance, and they'd love to see a quadruple overtime game on Monday night too.
Rob, we'll talk Monday.
Sounds good, Bob.
Smart Play of the Night's brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. Well, it's simple. You heard Rob mention it. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the PK. He touches every aspect of the Oilers game. RNH finished with a goal and 2 assists, 3 points. He's at better than a point per game in the NHL playoffs if you take away his first playoff experience. And people say, Stauffer, you're spot picking. No. Take a look at what happened with Datsuk and Zetterberg in their first couple of playoff runs. They didn't light it up either. And that's Datsuk and Zetterberg, 2 great players. So RNH with 3 points tonight, by the way, in his NHL career now has 53 points in 60 games. He had 4 points in his first 13. So you can do the math there. He's going pretty good. He's at 49 points in his last 47 NHL playoff games. That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That doesn't include Leon Draisaitl, who, by the way, picked up 2 assists tonight, become the 3rd fastest player in NHL history to get 100 playoff points. Only Gretzky and Lemieux ahead of him. Oilers beat Vancouver 5-1. This is the Rogers postgame show.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top-shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, the out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. This is the only game in the NHL right now, and it's the only game in the NHL for the next couple days. Edmonton and Vancouver will play Game 7 Monday night. The Rangers open up the series at home, the Eastern Conference Final against Florida Wednesday. The winner of Vancouver and Edmonton, the Oilers in Vancouver on Monday, will travel to Dallas and take on the Stars on Thursday. That's your out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73. Edmonton wins 5-1 tonight. Some big-time performances, including Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a goal and 2 assists. Connor McDavid, 3 assists. Dylan Holloway, a massive goal early in the game. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, and breathtaking views. Experience resort-like amenities including a full-time concierge, yoga and fitness studios, golf simulator, plus indoor and outdoor lounges for you to live your best life. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com and make your home high above the ordinary.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
stick!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup Final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars. Brought to you by Molson, whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or Excel. There's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight. Dylan Holloway got it started for Edmonton. Beautiful individual rush for a goal. Second star tonight, 3 primary assists. Connor McDavid. First star goal and 2 assists. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We will tell you, Rick Tocchet has already confirmed Dr. Demko will not play Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers. It'll be Arthur Shilovs. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, who called tonight's game, along with Cameron, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers, Angie Quinnell at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy, and our ace engineer as always, Troy Bowler. Bob Stauffer saying so long from Rogers Place. We got a Game 7 Monday night, 7 p.m. Edmonton time. So long till then.
Post-game show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian